The Gary W. Harris Canada Games is getting ready for badminton as the 2019 Canada Winter Games in Red Deer, Alberta continues. As we welcome you inside our TSN studios, I'm Kayla Gray. Well, medals on the line today as we continue our coverage of day 11 of the Canada Games with badminton. We'll get you set up for that in just a moment's time, but plenty of other action for the day as squash, cross-country skiing, women's hockey also underway. Let's get you to some trampoline highlights, though. The gymnastics trampoline team mix at the Collicott Center. First up, Team Quebec's Remy Aubin. He scored a competition high of 56.905, including a very good 16.01 score in the execution category. Moving on to Team Alberta's Kalena Soen. She did pretty well for her team, and she had the highest score of all females with 52.240. And she also had the top execution score of the day with 16.6. It would be Team Quebec that took home the gold medal, while Alberta finished second and BC third. Prelim action continues in women's hockey. PEI taking on Newfoundland. First period, Newfoundland turns it over. Grayson Hanrahan sends it to the net, and PEI opens up scoring. Late first now, Hannah Leclerc stops the chance out front. Can't seem to find the rebound, but Abigail Newhook buries it, and we're tied up at one. Third period now, PEI on the power play. Rory Aiken takes it into the zone. Oh, fires it top shelf. 2-1 PEI, and PEI would add an empty netter as they have won all three of their games. 3-1 the final. And coming up next on TSN 3, we've got badminton starting with the mixed doubles. To get you all set up, let's go to Dustin Nielsen and Brian Moody.
As we get set, the two hand out some hardware here in badminton. One of the themes you'll notice today at the Canada Game Center is there are a lot of Albertan athletes. How strong is the program in Alberta right now?
Yeah, I would say it's one of the strongest we've had for a while. As we'll see today in the first match in the mixed doubles final, all four competitors are from Alberta. We've got 3 from Calgary and 1 from Edmonton. So, yeah, like I said, it'll be a big battle of Alberta today. And
for two of these Albertan athletes, Kevin Lee and Austin Bauer, they will have to compete twice today. How difficult can that be? Is it much of a disadvantage for either of them?
I don't think so. Pretty much all these athletes are used to competing several times a day, so sometimes it's nice to have 2 finals on the day. If you sort of fall short in the first one, you still have that second one to rely on, so I wouldn't suspect that it'll play a big factor today.
We've got 5 gold medals up for grabs here at the Canada Game Center in Red Deer.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals, developing and manufacturing chemicals and plastic resins that make everyday life safer, healthier, and easier. By Hotels Red Deer, working as one to create a better destination experience. By IFR Workwear, family is your priority, your workwear is ours. By On the Run, proud sponsor of the Canada Winter Games. On the Run, making the most of every stop. And by Travel Alberta, wander within reach this winter.
Welcome inside the Canada Game Center, everyone, as we get set for the first of 5 gold medal matches here on TSN today in badminton. And our first, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, the all-Alberta battle here, as you've got Austin Bauer and Kylie O'Donoghue going up against Imran Wadia and Takesha Wang. And let's start by taking a look at this team where both athletes are out of Calgary. And Brian, you actually coach 3 of the 4 athletes competing here, including Kylie O'Donoghue, who we get a look at here in blue.
Yeah, so both Kylie and Austin are training out of the Glencoe Club in Calgary, and I would be one of sort of 3 coaches that work with them, Artie Renata and Beth Richardson also. Yeah, so pretty much no secrets here as far as most of these players. All 4 players would have a pretty good knowledge of each other, but Kylie and Austin definitely one of the strongest mixed teams in the country, so I'm not surprised that they're here today.
Both Bauer and O'Donoghue are 22 years old. There's a look at 21-year-old Takesha Wang, who is out of Edmonton, and she will be playing alongside Imran Wadia, who there we get a look at right now, out of Calgary. And I want to know how common it is for a team to be put together an event like this where one teammate is from Edmonton, the other is from Calgary. How familiar can they be with each other? And do the other two, because they play together so often, have maybe more of an advantage?
Yeah, I would think it's an advantage for sure. Having said that, a good mixed player, good girl, good boy. If they're strong, they know where their partner should be, even if they haven't played with them before. You'll probably see the players talk to each other during the match, but I would say before the match that Austin and Kylie maybe have a little bit of an advantage there.
As far as this event goes, how big would this be on the scale of events that they've played in so far in their, what is a relatively young badminton career?
Yeah, you could make an argument that this would be the the biggest event that they've played. Austin has played in the World University Games, so I know that's sort of one of his highlights of his badminton career. But for sure, a final at Canada Winter Games would be probably, arguably, the biggest event that they've played in to date.
We know that it'll be Alberta for gold and Alberta for silver. It's just a matter of which of these Albertan teams will come away. It is a best of 3 up to 21 in each of those 3 games.
Yeah, that's correct.
On my right, Takesha Wang.
And it will be the Alberta team wearing white
Alberta.
that will start
And on my left,
with our first serve here.
Austin Bauer and Kylie O'Donoghue, Alberta. Takesha Wang to serve to Austin
Takesha
Bauer.
Wang
Love all.
will begin this gold medal match. A little bit long there in the early going here from
Serves
Wadia.
over 1-0. Out.
The nerves are going through their bodies right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, one thing we talked about sort of off camera was the importance of serve and receive, and especially mixed doubles and men's doubles. It's not as exciting as a tennis serve, but it's equally important. They're trying to keep that shuttle so tight to the net.
3-1.
Nice defense there from Wang on a smash attempt from Bauer.
Sorry.
Okay, he's saying sorry there. What's the sorry for?
So, sort of a, I don't want to say tradition, but typical for badminton players. It is a fairly respectful sport. So Imran hit the net cord there, got the roll,
Okay.
and he's sort of apologizing for getting that roll. Yeah.
It's a lot of respect.
Sometimes you do it, you don't really mean it.
Yeah. I was going to say, so you apologize for just getting lucky?
Exactly, yeah.
4-3 here for Wadia and Wang. Wadia hammered that one in just inside the baseline. Little fist pump too. Now in the early stages here, is it usually one of them plays the net, one will play the back, or do they go side to side, or what's the strategy?
Typically in mixed doubles, you're trying to get your partner as the male, you're trying to get the girl to the front.
Okay.
Just for the pure reason that, you know, the boys do hit harder, so you're trying to get your girl to set you up, get you the lift. And typically that's where most of the points will come from. The boy hitting from the back with the girl finishing off at the net.
5-5 here in the first set or game. You can go both ways with that one.
Again, you can see sort of them just putting so much pressure on the serve. The boys will definitely try to be putting pressure on the girls' serve.
Bauer with a pretty good job along the back line there, but Wadia and Wang have done a nice job defending some of these power attempts from Bauer. And a little bit too deep there from Bauer. And Wadia, good eye there to let that one go.
Yeah, well, Judge, you'll sometimes see, you know, partners sort of helping their partner with lines, calling it for them.
Okay, we saw them just switch out the shuttle. How does that happen?
Well, as we sort of again talked about off camera, these are real feather shuttles that the athletes are using, and they're typically good for half of a game sort of thing.
Okay.
So sometimes it's a strategy where maybe your opponents have gone on a run of string of points and you're trying to break the momentum, but most of the time you're changing just because a feather is broken.
Whoa.
And there you sort of see Kylie doing a nice job getting nice pressure on the net and with the put away.
Excellent back and forth rally there. And it was O'Donoghue who finished it off. Just out of the reach of Wang. That'll drop in, and a 2-point lead here for Alberta in blue, Bauer and O'Donoghue.
Interval.
The lead grows to 3, get to 11. There's a little bit of a break, and it is Bauer and O'Donoghue of Alberta leading the provincial teammates 11-8 here in the first of 5 gold medal matches on TSN. It's an early lead for the team of O'Donoghue and Bauer. Nice dive there from Waddy, and from his backside managed to get a piece of that return, but it falls out of bounds, and it'll be 12-8 here for Bauer. Excellent effort.
Yeah, great effort there by Imran.
And that one drops in as well. A little bit of a run here. How much is momentum a factor in this sport, Brian?
Yeah, I was just going to mention there a little bit of a miscue from Imran and Takisha. That would maybe be to our earlier point of them not playing together. Imran a little bit overly aggressive on receive there, sort of exposing part of the court. But yeah, definitely big run here. This would be maybe a time where Takisha and Imran want to try to break some momentum. They've obviously chatted about it at the break, but have not come out strong after the break. So this is a critical moment for them to sort of stay with Kylie and Austin. So well done there to get back to 5 points.
An important point there from Takisha Wong out of Edmonton. And now back-to-back points for this Alberta group wearing white.
Yeah, things can switch very quickly in rally point.
Nice backhand there from Wang, which is fired back into the net.
Service over.
Well left by Austin there, just a little bit short on the serve.
Oof. Wang hopping all over that one. Looked like O'Donoghue tried to just drop a drop shot in there.
Yeah, she's not in the greatest position there for Kylie to play net. Takisha was all over that.
Waddy a back line.
And Kylie repays the favor there. I think she may have
16-12.
caught Takisha, but
She
you
did
see
apologize.
Kylie apologizing again, yeah.
Badminton's the most polite sport I've ever seen.
A little bit different maybe in this match where, as we said, they're all 4 of them are teammates, and they still have the team event coming up after the individual, so we don't want any hard feelings after the match.
We wrap up the individual events today, and then the team event takes place for the next 2 or 3 days here as we wrap up the Canada Games.
Oh, it's a great shot by Austin.
Cross court, dropped it just in there. Austin Bauer, the 22-year-old out of Calgary, has his team in front here, 8-12. 19-12 now for Alberta Blue.
19-12.
Like O'Donoghue went to reach for that. Bauer might have been able to make a play on it after.
Yeah, once it's hit, then shuttle's dead, so.
14.
Wadia and Wang trying to cut into this lead. Nice rally ended by the backhand of Takisha Wang.
Yeah, nice anticipation there by Takisha, looking to sort of cut off that mid-court shot. A little bit of a cat and mouse sometimes with the players just trying to push it just past the girl.
Game point 50.
Game point here for Bauer and O'Donoghue, looking to take the first game. And that one kind of dropping in no man's land. And
16,
the team of Wadia and Wang will stay alive. And that will do it, 21-16. The opening set going to the Alberta pair of Bauer and O'Donoghue.
21-16.
Wadia and Wang will look to stay alive in a best of three, a chance to wrap up a gold medal here for Bauer and O'Donoghue.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals. Everyone agrees plastics do not agree with our oceans, rivers, or anywhere in the environment. Please be responsible while enjoying the games. By Finning Canada, proud partner of the Canada Winter Games and our athletes. By Driving Force, vehicle rentals, sales, and leasing, proud to be the fleet provider for Canada's Winter Games. By ATCO, proud sponsor and official energy provider of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. And by the Government of Canada, proud supporter of the 2019 Canada Winter Games.
A nice start here in the mixed doubles gold medal final for Bauer and O'Donoghue.
Yeah, as you see here, Kylie really being aggressive at the net. That's where they've won a lot of their points. She's really trying to dictate the play by really getting on the net.
Both teammates.
Again, just good push from the net, and then mistake there by Keisha. And Austin being really aggressive with receive a serve to sort of take that first set.
Significant contributions from both Bauer and O'Donoghue. They trail this second set 1-0.
Nice serve.
And a nice serve dropped right in there by Keisha Wang.
Yeah, again, their serve-receive aspect of double is so important. Not the most exciting for the spectators, but these athletes will spend hours just perfecting that serve, perfecting the receive.
You coach 3 of these 4. How much would they practice in a week, let's say?
Right now, most of these kids, all 3 are also going to school, so I would say anywhere from, you know, at peak season, if they have the opportunity, they should be doing, you know, around 3 hours a day, maybe 4 to 5 times a week.
Really?
Kylie just broke a string there, I'm not sure.
Did you pick that up just from the sound?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a miss, and I thought she broke a string, but she didn't.
She's going to take a look at the racket. Nice start here for Wadi and Wang, looking to stay alive in this best of 3. That serve comes up short.
Yeah, and as is the case oftentimes, the team that wins the first set comes out a little bit flat. The team that loses that first set is thinking, okay, we got to get going. So it's fairly common for the team that loses that first set to take that an early lead, but it looks like Kylie and Austin have sort of tightened it up a bit.
Nice shot there from Bauer, forcing Wang to put a return into the net. Wang hammers one home there now to reclaim a 2-point lead. Looks like that hit the outside of Wadia's racket. Bauer to serve here for Alberta in blue. Wadi and Bauer going back and forth there, and then Bauer hammers it over in the direction of Wang and snags the point. Five here in the second set. And that return from O'Donoghue into the net. Nice job there. And return from O'Donoghue. A little bit deep.
Yeah, Imran and Takesha going on a nice little run here. Try to get some separation. Always found if you had sort of a 5 or 6 point gap is when you truly played free. Other than that, it's pretty tight. It's hard to feel relaxed.
Almost got it over. Bauer, though, into the net. Nice shot there from Wadia. And he is fired up. As Alberta White with Wadia and Wang will take an 11-5 lead into the second half here against Bauer and O'Donoghue.
We're members of Team Canada U18. We're watching the Canada Games on TSN.
Welcome back to Red Deer, everyone. Dustin Nielsen and Brian Moody with you. And a nice bounce back here so far, at least in the second set, from Wadia and Wang.
Yeah, they've definitely been the steadier of the two pairs, and I would say the aggressors as well. So we'll look to see what comes of this after the break. Good start for Austin to put some pressure there on Imran's serve.
11-6. A win in this set would mean a gold medal for Austin Bauer and Kylie O'Donoghue.
And again, Austin just playing a little bit too soft to the net. Takisha looking for that and taking full advantage.
So when you say too soft to the net,
just not getting it past her to sort of, there is that fine line of trying to get it past her without hitting to the guy. So it is difficult to do, but right now Takisha is eating him up.
Service over, 7.
That one just outside the baseline.
Yeah, and the players are directed by the umpires not to try to make calls. Most of the times these athletes will be participating in tournaments where they don't have line judges, and so it's their natural instinct to make the call, but they will have been instructed all week not to do that. It's hard to do.
Well, there's no shortage of line judges set up around the court here. Nice work there from Takisha Wang as the backhand causes an issue for Austin Bauer. 14-8, Wadia and Wang with the lead. O'Donoghue catches the top part of the net there as they fall behind by 7. Like O'Donoghue and Bauer just coming up just a little bit short on these ones, eh?
Yeah, they're trying to make things a little bit too tight. Takisha's done a nice job of really putting pressure on. Little things like that. Serve for a winner.
Bauer let that one drop between his legs. Wadia, nice job back line to keep it alive once, not the second time though.
9-17.
And again, whether the gap is too large for them to come back here, Kylie and Austin will want to try to get some positive momentum going, try to get some rallies going in their favor.
Yeah, the last thing you want is to have no momentum heading into a third and final set.
Service over, 10-18.
Yeah,
nice
again,
work at the net.
Yeah, she's really just sort of taken over the set, not able to sort of get it past her. She's been very aggressive. And Imran Takisha just the steadier pair so far in the second set.
Service over, 11-19.
Imran Wadia and Takisha Wang 2 points away from forcing a third and deciding set. Down 1 point away.
20, game point 11.
And that is finished off there on a hammer from Takisha Wang. 21-11. They bounce back with a convincing victory, and this mixed double gold medal match will come down to a third and a final set.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals. Plastic is a valuable resource, not to be discarded. Put it to better use. Kindly recycle while enjoying the games. By MNP, proud supporter of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. By Navigator, when you can't afford to lose. By the City of Red Deer, it's in the spirit of sport. It's here. It's Red Deer. By the Look Company, building sport and event environments that are always engaging. The proud branding partner of the 2019 Canada Games.
Mixed doubles gold medal match will go to a third set due to an excellent effort from Team White with Alberta, headlined, I think, by the play of Takesha Wang.
Yeah, as we mentioned during that last set, really sort of took over and really putting herself all over that net, and it really paid off. That's the one thing with mixed doubles that's interesting is sometimes the flow isn't there. One team can sort of feel like they've got things in control, and then there's lots of momentum swings in mixed doubles for whatever reason.
When you look at it for Takesha Wang and how good she was at the net in that second set, if you're this Alberta Blues squad of Bauer and O'Donoghue, do you try to force things to the back a little bit more, or how do you go about it?
Yeah, I would think they've got to try to change things up. They're, like as I mentioned, they're trying to get things past the net, but maybe they need to try to push a shot a little deeper to the back and look for better opportunities to do that, to challenge her at the net. Right now, they're doing that from bad positions, taking the shot a little bit low, and that's why Takesha's sort of had a field day at the net in that second set.
Wang to serve here. She's at the Be Active Badminton Club in Edmonton. It's one of the warehouse.
That's right, yeah. So her father, who is here today watching, and mom are watching, has opened his own club in Edmonton at Be Active, and had a very successful program for the past few years. We see there Kylie hitting Takesha with a serve, Takesha trying to let that shuttle go, but both Takesha and her younger brother Desmond are on Team Alberta. And from what I understand, Desmond had a really close match in the semifinals, up 19-17 the third. Unfortunately, they came up a bit short, but we would have had another Alberta final. So definitely Badminton runs in the blood for the Wangs.
Hey, quick congratulations. On the court just next to us was the bronze medal match. Quebec getting by Ontario in straight sets, 21-13, 21-13. So Quebec adding a bronze medal to the medal haul here at the Canada Games. Currently leading the medal standings is the province of Quebec. And an early lead here for Bauer and O'Donoghue, who won the first set in a diving effort there from Bauer, not able to make a play.
Yeah, he'll want that serve back sort of hung up a little bit. That's why that third shot was so difficult.
And once again, Takesha Wang at the net doing some damage. And we're tied at 4. That time it was Bauer at the net.
Yeah, as we said, they've got to switch things up. So with Kylie at the back, Austin sort of took an opportunity there, and it paid off.
Nice eye from Wadia on that serve as it falls just short. And that one long off the racket of Austin Bauer, and 6-5, Alberta White with the lead. Back and forth, might get this the rest of the way.
Yeah, good patience there from Austin from the back. Sometimes in a big haul like this, it is hard to hit through. But I am a bit surprised that they haven't tried to do that to Imran and Takesha, sort of get that shuttle to the back with some height. Try to slow the pace down a little bit. Because anytime it gets flat and quicker on the net, they seem to be coming up a little bit short. So
Wang to serve. Force Bauer back. And then Wang puts it into the net. You like that return from Bauer, being able to hop back there quickly?
yeah, he's gonna have to do that. Typically, if you're going to get flicked, if you don't do much with it, you'll just keep getting flicked. So
9-7.
We were talking about it a little bit off camera about how the rallies in this doubles match hasn't been that long. Will we see something? We've got 2 more doubles matches coming, but 2 single matches as well. Will we see longer rallies in the singles? Or
I suspect we will. Yeah. Just again, the court's not that much bigger, but now you've got an extra person, so there's not a lot of empty space out there for the players. So. And it is typically a little bit more aggressive style, so people are a little bit more inclined to make mistakes.
Court number 2, women's singles, bronze medal match. Jacqueline Chung.
Nice hammer there from Austin Bauer. And Alberta Blue has an 11-8 lead in the third and final set. Welcome back to Red Deer, and we are not that long away from awarding a gold medal here in mixed doubles in badminton. And as we work our way through the second half of the third set, what do you think ends up being a difference maker here, Brian?
Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to what we've seen, the team that sort of serves and receives the best, and for sure, whichever girl can get onto the net, sort of take control. You know, the men are sort of at the back hitting hard, but the women actually have a much tougher job. They got their nose in the net, and they generally dictate the play. So again, just a little bit of a loose serve there from Austin, letting Imran sort of be aggressive on his receive. And then right again back from Takisha. So as I said, serving so important.
12-9.
And a nice finish there from Imran Wadia. Make it a 2-point set. And that serve fools everybody.
Yeah, Imran's really done a nice job today mixing up his serve. He's flicked both Austin and Kylie. Catches Kylie there.
And that one from Kylie O'Donoghue is long, and all of a sudden Alberta White has evened this thing at 12. That was a good back and forth, and Wang coming up short at the net.
I haven't asked the players if there's a draft in this hall, but sometimes in a big hall like this there is. You know, the shuttle doesn't weigh much. Sometimes if there's some vents going, there can be a bit of a draft, but that can sort of affect your confidence in lifting the shuttle.
No confidence issues there, and a big scream from Wadia for Alberta White as they once again even it at 13. Are teams allowed timeouts? Can they call a timeout?
Well, you can try. You can't actually call a timeout, but you can ask, you know, there's lots of little things you can try. Ask for a drink, tie your shoes, all that sort of stuff. But no one's really pulled any of that gamesmanship out. But you might see something from Kylie and Austin here if they find themselves getting down any further.
They're going to change the shuttle here right now.
Yeah, I always liked if someone hit through me, I always like to ask to change the shuttle, sort of show that wasn't you, the shuttle must have been fast.
14-13 Alberta White, 15-13 Alberta White as Bauer puts that one into the net. So that serve hang up there a little bit, is that why, or did Bauer just attack it?
The serve, a little bit of both.
Okay.
Austin looked to be aggressive, but it did hang. Well, it's, again, like I said, this sort of stuff, this is where the nerves really come in. It would be similar to a golfer trying to make a 5-foot putt for a win. There, Kylie doing a nice serve, nice follow.
Donahue has given Alberta Blue a 16-15 lead. It's a race to 21 for a gold medal. And now we're dead even at 16.
Oh, linesman showed unsighted there, meaning he was obstructed by the player.
So then it goes up to the chair?
If the chair sees it clearly, he can make the call. Looks like they're gonna play a let.
Okay. No point either way.
Oh, and that let could turn out to be a huge, unfortunately, a huge factor. But you know what? The line judge did the right thing. If he doesn't feel like he got a good look at it, better for him to call unsighted and then to make a bad call.
It would have been 17-16 Alberta White. Now it's 17-16 Alberta Blue. Diving effort there from Wadia kept things alive.
Oh.
The rally of the match there ends with a point for White.
Yeah, great defense there by Takesha and Imran.
Wadia is pretty vocal. Do you see a lot of athletes in badminton as vocal as him, or is he one of the more vocal ones?
I would say it's more and more prevalent. Yeah,
Okay.
the athletes sort of try to pump themselves up. And nice follow there by Austin.
Bauer had a couple of opportunities there and hammered that second one down to give Alberta Blue an 18-17 lead. This gold medal match coming down to the wire, 19-17 for Bauer and O'Donoghue.
Yeah, that's a good read by Austin, sort of reading where Imran was maybe going to play that receive a serve.
Oh my.
Oh, great rally.
Excellent rally that leads to match point here for Alberta Blue, leading 2017. This could be for a gold medal.
Oh.
Into the net, and the team white of Wadia and Wang stay alive. Change the shuttle here. Thought O'Donoghue did a good job playing defense there.
Yeah, it is interesting this time of the match. Not a lot of finesse from the back. Players are a little bit tighter, and your first instinct is to sort of hit it hard. Great shot by Austin. Oh, and there it is.
Hammered home for a gold medal from Kylie O'Donoghue. And Alberta Blue will take it the best of 3, 2-1. And a nice finish, Brian. That's a nice way to start for us today.
Yeah, it was a great match. Really, some of the better rallies coming late, which is nice to see. And yeah, just ebbs and flows. Neither team sort of looked like it was in the bag. So yeah, I really enjoyed that match.
Proud coach, too.
Yeah, it's hard not to be a little bit nervous myself for the players, but all in all, it was a good match.
They win the first set. They get the third one as well. Austin Bauer and Kylie O'Donoghue, both athletes out of the Glencoe Club in Calgary, coming here to the Canada Games just up the highway in Red Deer, and they will be leaving with a gold medal. Excellent effort on the other side from Wadia and Wang, taking the second set to stay alive. But in the end, it was a nice refocus from Austin Bauer and Kylie O'Donoghue, and they will pick up gold medals in the first of 5 gold medal matches here at the Canada Games in Red Deer.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals. Nova invests heavily in communities where we live and work. Sustainability is a team effort. Thank you for letting us be a part of the team. By Shaw, the official telecommunications provider of the Canada Games. By Winmar Restoration, offering complete residential and commercial property restoration services with 24-hour emergency service and a response time that can't be beat. By Nosac Food Group, serving Central Alberta for over 36 years. And by ATB. ATB is proud of you, Alberta, and proud to support the 2019 Canada Winter Games.
Despite dropping their second set, Alberta bounces back in the third to capture gold as we welcome you back inside the TSN studio. So the mixed doubles all wrapped up, and we get you set for the women's singles gold medal on the line to get you all caught up and set up for this matchup. Let's head to Dustin Nielsen and Brian Moody.
The second of 5 gold medal matches. Earlier, it was Alberta getting the job done. Kylie O'Donoghue and Austin Bauer in the mixed doubles. We now move to women's singles for gold. Ontario versus British Columbia. And Talia Ng representing Ontario. We were talking about it, I believe last night we were talking about it a little bit, Brian, and that is Ontario very strong in the sport of badminton right now.
Yeah, definitely I would say Ontario is sort of the powerhouse, more specifically Toronto or the Markham area. There's been a huge spring up of what we would refer to as warehouse clubs in that area, and there's a heavy Asian population, and badminton very popular with the Asian community, and the results for the past few years.
And Italia is out of Markham, Ontario. On the other side, representing British Columbia, just 16 years old, Wendy Zhang, who has competed at the Canadian Junior Nationals, the Pan Am Junior Championships, Canadian Junior Internationals as well. Just 16-year-old out of British Columbia. What do you expect from her here in a gold medal final?
Yeah, she's just 16, but she has a fair bit of experience. She's played in lots of big matches, so I expect this to be a fairly close match, and I really wouldn't want to pick a winner here.
This is our first look at singles. We saw the doubles. How much of a difference are we going to notice watching the singles here? Are there one or two things that always stand out for you?
Well, for sure, from the mix that we just watched was very flat, lots of attacking. You'll see lots more sort of change of pace here from the players. You'll see lots more clearing, that general style of play. But again, these girls are both very aggressive.
It will be Talia Ng versus Wendy Zhang. Ontario going up against British Columbia, a 17-year-old going up against a 16-year-old. And for Ng, we mentioned coming out of Markham, she's with the Ontario Badminton Academy.
Yeah, Talia, even though she's only 17, she is one of the top women in the country for badminton. Same with Wendy. Right now, the badminton scene, the women's badminton scene has sort of been dominated by Michelle Lee, but this is sort of the next crop coming underneath her.
Talia Ng, Ontario. And on my left, Wendy Zhang, British Columbia.
The umpire, Darren Yee. Looks like we are ready to go. Gold medal, women's singles here in Red Deer, underway. Nice drop shot there from Ng, and both of these young women covering a ton of court.
Yeah, you'll see that. That'll sort of be one of the themes here today, trying to maximize the movement of the shuttle, get it to all four corners. Just missed that cross-court slice.
That'll even it up at one. First point there for Wendy Zhang. Zhang just misses, tried to come down the sideline there, and it'll be a 2-1 lead for Ontario's Talia Ng. The return long from Zhang, and a 3-1 lead for Ng.
Yeah, you see Talia there sort of, for lack of a better word, celebrating. She might get warned for that down the road. Umpires sometimes look at that as trying to influence the line judge.
So the celebration, if it's close at the line, and she's celebrating after every point, but for some of those situations,
right there, it doesn't matter because their opponent
Yeah.
into the net. But if it's tight on the line and someone's celebrating right in your face, sometimes it's hard to make a call against them.
A nice start for Ng. She leads 4-1. That one long, and maybe an opportunity here for Zhang to build some momentum. We talked about it in doubles with the advantage or no advantage on a serve. How about in singles? Is there a significant advantage when you're serving?
Again, not really. You're just sort of trying to put the shuttle in play, not have it hurt you.
Yeah.
If you have a really good high serve in a venue like this, could be difficult. Like I said, if there is a little bit of a draft, if there is some movement on the shuttle. So
back-to-back points here for Zhang, and that one after some nice work at the net. Zhang tried to drop that one over top, couldn't get it above the net. 5-3 for Talia Ng.
Nice play there by Talia, taking the shuttle nice and early. Sometimes simple play like that, just taking the shuttle nice and early to the net, just getting it back onto your opponent's side. Pays dividends.
I like the little battles at the net, back and forth, trying to, well, I guess for that right there to happen, get in tight and unable to get it back over.
Yeah, similar to the singles, you are still trying to control the net. Little nice net spin there by Talia.
That one is out. You may hear some cheers going on. Well, our match is actually in play, and that's because we've got the women's bronze medal battle going on right next to us here. And Chung taking the first set from Camille LeBlanc, 21-9. LeBlanc, I believe we will see later on in our women's double gold medal match. As Ing grows her lead to 6.
So that's what I was talking about, yeah. She's getting a sort of a friendly reminder. If she keeps on doing it, she could receive a yellow card.
All of our umpires here are from across the country. They've come in certified. They don't try to find local officials or anything like that.
Yeah, like in most sports, it's hard to sort of have good officials. So these officials will all be well qualified from all over the country.
Zhang able to drop that one in just inside the baseline. She'll ask for a new shuttle. Excellent rally that ends with Wendy Zhang unable to hammer that one over the top of the net, but great back and forth there.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscue by Wendy there, but yeah, great rally.
10-4, Ing out of Ontario with the lead.
There's the umpire sort of asking the players to resume play. They really like to sort of keep breaks to a minimum.
That one deep and 11-4. It will be Talia Ing with a lead over top of Wendy Zhang. Obviously a comfortable lead here for Talia Ing. What do you like about her game?
Yeah, I would say really aggressive from the front. I mean, not a ton to separate the two, even though she does have that nice lead. You can see Jennifer Lee, her coach, giving them some words of advice here, but basically just a little bit steadier. Most of the rallies have been fairly long, and like I said, Talia maybe being a little bit more assertive around the net.
There's a lot of it. When you mentioned there's not a lot separating these two athletes, just basically comes down to execution, like unforced errors almost.
Yeah, I think so at this point.
It's a nice start here for Talia Ing out of the Ontario Badminton Academy. 17 years old, facing a 16-year-old Wendy Zhang, who'll be looking to make a push here before she falls too far behind in the opening set of our gold medal match. Back underway with Ontario leading 11-4.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think the big difference so far, you know, Talia, when she's in trouble, seems to be able to get out of it, and Wendy hasn't really there. She's sort of counter-attacking, nice cross-court clip for a winner.
Smile on the face of Wendy Zhang there. She almost got to that one. Now trails 12-4. Zhang, who was backpedaling there, let that one drop out of bounds. A nice read, good court awareness, I guess.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, too. Unlike tennis, we don't get to make the decision after. We got to sort of judge it before it falls.
And Ng misses wide on the sideline there. Cuts the lead to 6.
Yeah, similar for Wendy here. She needs to try to gain a little bit of momentum, even if she loses this first game. Give her some confidence in the second. Going for a little bit too much there on that, what we would call a net fake.
That one drops just out of the sideline, 14-6. Ontario leads. It seems when they get into these longer rallies, Ng's been the one who's been able to make the better shot late.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe her fitness is a little bit better, but she definitely seems to have won most of those long rallies. So that's a comforting feeling when you're sort of winning those long ones. Makes them hurt less. Oh, nice net spin there by Wendy. Gets the net roll.
Cuts the lead to 7. And she's going to grab a new shuttle here. Ng's got a 14-7 lead, but the look on her face, she's very focused right now.
Yeah, she's very focused. She's very intense. That's a big part of her success.
Just that intensity, it can take it to another level?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's maybe what sort of separates her a little bit from some of the other girls.
In 2018, Ng was a Pan Am Junior Championship, finished first there in the U19 women's singles. A little deep on that one as well.
Just missing that cross-court slice.
Like the attempt there from Zhang, though? I mean, right idea in that situation?
Yeah, I think so. As we said, she's just sort of just missing by a little bit. But she sort of had an opportunity there, and she went for it. And that sometimes that's what happens when you're losing those long rallies. You maybe go for a little bit more than you need to.
Into the net there, off the racket.
Yeah.
Of Zhang, and 16-9. Ontario's Ng with the lead.
Yeah, same there from Wendy, just going for a little bit too much on that drop.
Zhang long on that one. And moves Ontario closer to possible first set victory here for Talia Ng. Good crowd here in Red Deer today.
Service fault called. Foot.
So there we had a service fault called by the service judge, saying that Talia has moved her feet. So you are allowed to pivot that back foot, but it has to sort of remain in contact in the same spot.
And I think Talia said it was a little late.
Yeah. It's you don't see that a ton, but you'll get the odd service fault. Usually it's for sort of a racket infraction, making contact too high.
Contact needs to be made underneath the waist?
Below the waist, yeah. So even that's sort of a judgment call. It's hard to know exactly where that is.
It would have to be pretty obvious, if they're going to call you on that one.
You see that generally more in the doubles and the mixed doubles because there's not a huge advantage to be gained in the singles.
Zhang trying to drop that one over top of the net. Couldn't get it done. And now Ng asks for a quick break here.
Yeah, we see nice steep attack there from Talia, just sort of, as you mentioned, out of the reach of Wendy. And that sometimes doesn't translate that well on TV, as sort of the different heights, the different angles these athletes are playing. That's a big part of it. Nice attack there from Wendy.
Ng with a miss. Took a second look at her racket and her swing there. Unable to get to that one. And gonna grab a new shuttle here.
11-18.
18-11, Ontario leads. And Ng deep on that one. And Zhang forcing this first set a little bit longer.
As I said, she's now just trying to sort of find anything to gain a little bit of confidence for that second set. Not to say that this is over, but.
Nice work at the net here. And Zhang tried to cross it over on Ng, and Ng will move within 2 points of taking the opening set.
Yeah, and that's what the players do around the net. They're sort of spinning it. The shuttle is tumbling. It's hard to control.
We need the men's singles players for the bronze medal match to the assembly area, please.
Great straight smash there by Talia.
1 point away from taking the first set.
Here we can see sort of Talia really setting up underneath one and just overpowering Wendy down the line.
Wendy didn't even really have much time to move on that one. Short serve there, and it's knocked out by Wendy Zhang, and that will do it for the opening set for Talia Ng, as she cruises and is now 1 set away from a gold medal here at the Canada Games in Red Deer. There's a look at it. First set to Ontario. Second set coming up. Welcome back to the Canada Games Center in Red Deer, everyone. Justin Nielsen and Brian Moody with you, and an excellent start for Talia Ng, who cruised in the first set, 21-12, the final against Wendy Zhang of British Columbia. And what we're watching here in Talia Ng is one of the best female badminton talents, not just here at this event, but arguably in the country here, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. She'd be one of the girls to watch in the future, but really liking what I'm seeing from her. Very confident in sort of all facets of her game. She's moving well. Her defense is great. Nice attack. So she's got it all working for her. So we'll see if Wendy can turn things around. That's a great shot.
Nice start from Wendy. Got to the serve, and then very quickly on her second shot, dropped it over the net. If you're just joining us, it is a best of 3. And Ng took the first set, 21-12. And an early lead here for Wendy Zhang.
Yeah, good start for Wendy. Coming out firing.
3-0 BC now with the lead, as for the first time here, Talia Ying facing maybe a little bit of adversity.
A very tight drop from the back that Wendy played there, caught Talia off guard, and then was able to finish off from the short lift from Talia. It's interesting, though. I feel like almost every game has been won from our side here. It seems like the players are having more success from this side. I don't know if there's a little bit of a draft or...
That could actually be a difference?
Oh, definitely, yeah,
Really?
for sure. If there's something on one side where the lighting is different, it plays a huge factor.
That one long, and Ing will be on the board here in this second set. Some issues here with this shuttle.
So here they're sort of discussing the speed of the shuttle. Shuttles will have been tested ahead of time by someone from the association, but it seems like they were saying the shuttles haven't been tipped, so there's 16 feathers on a shuttle, and if it's very fast, you sort of tip outwards every one or every two. I think they were saying that that last shuttle hadn't been tipped.
Nice effort to get there, but could not get it back over the net. And a couple of points in a row here for Talia Ying. Too soft to touch at the net from Ing. And a 4-2 lead for Wendy Zhang.
Well left by Wendy. She's starting to push the pace a little bit. Moving to the shot a little bit quicker.
Confidence growing a little bit, or urgency maybe.
Urgency maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick up on her face. Doesn't seem like she's looking that confident, but a couple more points might do it.
Ing hammers that one just inside the sideline.
And again, that seems for me what sort of, I don't want to say separates because these girls are very close, but Talia doesn't really, you can't sort of tell based on the look on her face what the score is, where sometimes some of the athletes you can have a quick peek based on body language, and that is an advantage if you're sort of mentally strong. Good body language can be worth a few points.
There's a lot of misses here from Ing that we didn't see in the first set.
Yeah, part of that is due to you know, Wendy putting her under a little bit more pressure, but again, I'm wondering if the side of the court is giving her a little bit of difficulty.
A big cheer there from...
That nice pump clear there by Wendy, getting Talia deep, and then again finishing off playing behind her.
She cheered, and a big crowd here representing British Columbia cheering her on as well. Wendy Zhang now with an 8-3 lead, needing to win this set. Nice back and forth there, and Zhang comes up a little bit short.
4-8.
Talia Ying to serve here. answer back from Wendy Zhang. Powers one home.
That great net spin here by Wendy, getting behind the shuttle. Just making sure she doesn't make a mistake on that one. Sometimes you're just going to go best on best. My best smash is going to be better than your defense, so made sure she didn't play that shuttle too tight to the line.
Deep there from Zhang. Nine 9-5, the British Columbian with the lead. See the men's bronze medal singles match going on in the court next to us. It features Irman Wadia, who we watched earlier on in the mixed doubles for gold.
Yeah, again in that match, we've got Alberta versus Alberta, so well done to the Alberta coaches that are here, Dave McMaster and Fiona McKee.
Zhang puts that one into the net, cuts the lead to 4. And the serve long, and that will mean Wendy Zhang the first to 11 here in the second set. She leads 11-6, needs a set to stay alive here in a battle for a gold medal at the Canada Games.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Melcor, building the communities where people live, work, shop, and play since 1923. By Columbia, we love keeping you warm. By Santec, architects, engineers, scientists, and project managers who design with community in mind. By the Canadian Olympic Foundation, a proud national partner of the Canada Games. Supporting our athletes today builds the champions of tomorrow. And by Tech, Canada's largest diversified resource company and the exclusive medal supplier for the Canada Games.
Well, after falling 21-12 in that opening game, nice bounce back here from Wendy Zhang.
Yeah, she sort of just steadied up her play a little bit. Got off to a really good start there on the first point. And I think that really helped her confidence. A little bit of a change of pace for Wendy, a little bit steadier, really trying to block off the net anytime Talia is attacking her. So it was a bit of a tactical change there.
Wendy to serve. And puts that one into the net.
Yeah. And as soon as I say that, she sort of pushes that return. And
what have you done, Brian? Oh, nice shot there from Wendy Zhang. And Zhang, really no chance at that one.
Yeah, again, nice attack by Wendy going back to the same corner twice. Sometimes that's the most difficult for you as a player, going back across your body.
Fresh shuttle here for Zhang, who tries to stay alive. 12-7 the lead right now. (13-7) is Ng with a miss on the sideline.
Yeah, as we mentioned, it's not really a big advantage serving, but when he's really putting the shuttle up nice and high into a bigger venue like this, it can be tricky.
Zhang feeling it right now, doubling up Ontario Zing in this second set.
Yeah, again, nice attack from the back from Wendy, really following it up quickly, deciding to push into the body.
Ng unable to get the job done there, now falls behind. 15-7. Zhang deep there, and Zhang's got a good feel of everything right now. She's at the net, she's trying to put it deep, she's getting back, letting it drop out.
Yeah, just playing a little bit steadier, right? There's a lot of times the junior badminton players think you have to hit winning shots to win points, but if you can just outlast your opponent, lots of times you'll make lots of points off their mistakes.
Nice cheer from Zhang as powers that one home.
Yeah, nice attack again there by Wendy. Again, going back to the same spot twice.
And kind of got frozen there, didn't she? 17-7 the lead. That one drops in.
Yeah, just
right
catches
on
the back of the line.
Talia Ng needs to go on a little bit of a roll here. Trailing by 9 in the second set of a gold medal match. She did win the first set, so she's got that in her back pocket. The return on the serve comes up short from Zhang.
Yeah, Wendy going for a little bit too much there, a little bit of deception. Might have worked, but ultimately the point goes to Talia.
All right, Brian, what's going on here?
Yeah, so again, I think Talia's being warned for influencing.
Here's another look at it.
Yeah, hard to tell from our angle whether that's in or out, but was called out. I think the umpire again is instructing Talia not to make the call. Let the lines people do that first before you celebrate.
Now, eventually, is there like a point deduction, or what ends up happening if she gets warned too many times?
Well, eventually she'll get a yellow card.
Okay.
And then it's up to the umpire. They could, if she continues to do it, she could lose a point. But as I said, it's hard to do. Your initial instinct is to react.
Especially when she reacts that way on every point.
Exactly. But as I said, that's sort of what makes her great is her intensity. So it is hard to bottle that.
Some power there from Wendy Zhang. These are the ones you love getting, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. A little net deception there. A little nice little hold, pushes it to the back, and then that sort of gets yourself going.
So after dropping the first set, 21-12, we have seen a complete turnaround here from Wendy Zhang, now leading 18-11 in the second.
Yeah, right from that very first point in the second set, she's really turned it around.
Zhang long on that one. They were at the net at one point, then they were back away from the net. Zhang tried to drop that one just over top. And came up a little short.
Yeah, both these players are pretty comfortable in all areas of the court.
Backhand from Ng a little bit deep. And that pushes Wendy Zhang within 2 points of a second set victory. Long again from Ng. And a good read from Zhang to get out of the way of that one.
Yeah, maybe Talia being a little bit overly aggressive there. But yeah, well left by Wendy.
Game point here for Wendy Zhang of British Columbia, leading 2013. Looking to even up this best of 3 at 1 apiece. That one just out. Talia Ng stays alive here in the second set. And that is deep, and it is the second set victory here for Wendy Zhang. She's got to be happy with that effort.
Yeah.
21-14. Wendy Zhang gets the second set. Our women's singles gold medal will go to a third and determining set. Welcome back to the Canada Games in Red Deer, everyone. Dustin Nielsen and Brian Moody with you. And British Columbia's Wendy Zhang doing a really good job in that second set, having control of it almost from the very beginning, Brian.
Yeah, like I said, right from the get-go, she sort of took control of that match, not making sort of some of those easier mistakes. Maybe coaches have told her just to try to pull it in a little bit, but she's definitely made some changes in that second game for sure.
Now, one thing that we've noticed is that we have watched now 5 sets here on our court for the gold medal matches, and all 5 sets have been won on the near side of the court from where we are sitting. Now, it's just a coincidence, right? Or can there be a little something, as we see, we're talking about the side that Talia Ng will be on here in the third and determining set.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Again, there could be a draft. It's very common to have there's nothing from a venue standpoint, but very common for in a venue like this where there'll be maybe a draft going one way. It's a little bit trickier to control the shuttle. We seem to have quite a few shuttles going long on Talia's side, so we'll see if that continues. But
Ng drops that one in,
and that's the precise reason why they switch sides in the third set.
Yeah.
So they'll switch out
even
11.
it out the entire way.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes that's a strategy. If you know that going in, you sort of pick to finish on the strong side in the third set. So again, we see the shuttle going long on our side here.
And it's 1-1 in the third and final set. Shot there from Zhang, putting Ng in a tough spot to return that one. Another look at it.
Yeah, we'll see Wendy here. Nice net spin, gets a short lift, and chooses to go for a heavy slice instead of a full smash there, just out of the reach of Talia.
Zhang to serve. And Ng puts it into the net, falls behind 3-1.
Yeah, and I think Wendy's starting to believe she can win this match.
3-1.
See the Ontario coaches, Jennifer Lee and Wayne King.
That time Zhang misses on the sideline.
Coaches are allowed to coach in between points here, giving some instructions to both players.
And Ng has tied it up at 3 as Zhang misses on that one.
We have Toby Ng and Phyllis Chan. Toby, a former Olympian for Canada. played by Wendy.
Couple of nice stretches there from Ing, but it seemed like Zhang was in control at that point the entire way.
Yeah, really nice focus here. She comes in for sort of a net kill, catches the net cord, stays with it, and then sort of just takes the pace out at the net. Not easy to sort of play that little finesse shot in the moment. Sometimes you're so wound up.
Wendy Zhang leading Talia Ing of Ontario 4-3. And Ing drops that one in the corner.
That little misjudge there by Wendy.
What a point. Zhang drops that one just inside the line.
Yeah, great rally by both players. Again, just out of the reach of Talia there. Wendy seems to be starting to win those longer rallies now.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, right? In the first set, it seemed like she was having a little bit of trouble making some key shots late into some of these longer rallies, but she's really got that part of her game figured out.
Yeah, that could be nerves, and as far as I understand, this is Wendy's first Canada game, so maybe the moment was getting to her a little bit, but seems like she settled down.
Just 16 years old. That one dropped in as well by Zhang to take a 2-point cushion.
Yeah, she's really moving to the shuttle nicely now. Took that nice and early, kept the pressure on Talia.
Zhang again, all the momentum on Team BC's side right now.
Wendy plays out of Clear One in Richmond, BC. I'm sure her coach, Daryl Young, will be very interested. Daryl, former Olympian as well. I believe a former Canada Winter Games alumni.
Being able to halt a run here from Zhang. Make it 7-5. Zhang unable to get it over top of the net there. And Ing has cut this lead to 1. Zhang again, too hot to handle there for Talia Ing.
Yeah, Wendy's playing a nice cut from the back and then really following up in the net, keeping that pressure on. Not necessarily trying to hit a winner from the back, but trying to set up that play at the net. She's doing that nicely.
Wendy Zhang to serve here with a 2-point lead. Zhang got a piece of it, but couldn't get all of it, and Ing will take that point.
Yeah, here we see Talia, nice cross block, and goes around her head. That time hitting pretty much full power down the line. As you mentioned, just a bit too much for Wendy to handle. Again, neither girl really able to sort of separate points-wise. Yeah, again, Wendy sort of choosing to play that cut slice from the back. Sometimes those give you a little bit more time to think about it. Little unforced error there by Talia.
Our first set was a 9-point win for Eng, and second one a 7-point victory for Zhang. And now Zhang with a 3-point lead here.
There again, that's that nice cut going around her head, following it up. Definitely looking to sort of have a 1-2 punch.
Deep serve.
There we have Talia thinking that's in, or out rather. Well, maybe it was wide. Sorry, I was looking at the back line, Judge.
Excellent rally. And Wendy Zhang drops that one in to take an 11-8 lead. The British Columbian looking to get her hands on a gold medal, and shots like this will most certainly help. Welcome back. It's the women's singles gold medal match in badminton here at the Canada Games in Red Deer. And Wendy Zhang right now in a 11-8 lead on Talia Eng. And where are their headsets at right now?
Well, that's just it. You got to try not to think about the outcome here. Just trying to think about making the next point, which is easier said than done.
They switch sides here for the second half of the third and final set. Wendy Zhang possibly 10 points away here from a gold medal. Talia Eng hoping to change that. And Eng drops that one in for a little momentum here to make it a 2-point set.
Yeah, a little bit short on that serve when he took advantage.
Just try to drive this serve as far back as you can. Is that the
yeah, ideally
idea?
You're trying to put your opponent as deep as you can.
Zhang takes back over on serve here, leading 12-9.
Well, interesting there. Talia is asking.
So Eng says her shoelaces are loose, and the umpire says play.
Yeah, that surprises me, but
quick tighten there.
as I said, the officials really do sort of control the match, but something about like a shoelace, you would think they'd cut them a little bit of slack. Apparently not.
That serve a little bit too long and puts BC back on top by 3. What a point. Ng with a nice finish there.
Yeah, Wendy got caught there trying to go through the middle from a pretty low vantage point there, and Talia made her pay.
Diving effort from Ng, unable to get there though.
Yeah, almost the exact same thing in reverse here. Talia choosing to try to go through the middle of the court. And Wendy says, I've got it covered.
14-11.
Wendy Zhang has been on top pretty much this entire third set. Right now, it's a 3-point cushion. And that one powered inside the baseline there from Talia Ng.
Yeah, here we see Wendy playing maybe a little bit too of a slow drop. Talia sort of reads it, gets in onto the net early, and then finishes it off with a nice cross-court smash.
Zhang answers back. Really no way to get that one over the net where Ng was trying to play it from.
Yeah, again, both girls being very aggressive around the net. They get the opportunity, they're sort of pushing it into the body. Keep that pressure going.
Ng misses wide, and just like that, Wendy Zhang has a 4-point cushion.
If we could have the players for the men's singles gold medal match make their way to the assembly area, please.
Tous les athlètes des individuels hommes, le match de la médaille se rend au point de l'ensemble masculin.
Ng happy with that. Why wouldn't she be? Excellent shot down the line.
Yeah, again, as you can see, these girls really aren't taking many backhands in their, what we would sort of call backhand or around the head corner. They're going around their heads. They're still being aggressive.
Ng trying to cut into this lead. Excellent back and forth finished with a shot into the net from Talia Ng.
Yeah, it really was a back and forth rally. Nice patience from Wendy. Again, gets a little bit of a short lift from Talia and takes advantage. She can, looks like she can taste it now. She's got to sort of try to stay within herself.
I think Ng went over and looked at changing her racket. Would you change your racket at this stage, or? She looked at it. I wasn't sure she did. She flipped through a couple of different rackets.
Could be she's not happy with the tension. Most of the players will carry anywhere from 3 to 6 rackets. And they do string the rackets very tight. They'll typically, you'll see a couple strings break during the set of a match.
Ng goes cross court there, drops one in that Zhang can't get to. Ng's been able to get it back to like this 3-point deficit a couple of times, but has not been able to cut into it.
Yeah, sometimes when you have that little 4-5 point lead, you don't mind sort of trading points, but now she's cut it to 2. And sometimes it is easier to be the player who's sort of behind in the match. Sometimes you sort of have that feeling of I got nothing to lose, versus sort of protecting a lead like you see in a lot of sports. That never seems to work.
Zhang retakes the 3-point lead. A nice finish there just inside the sideline. (19-15) for Zhang. The Ontario fans here trying to rally behind Talia Ng, trailing by 4.
Great couple gets there by Wendy.
Eventually she puts it into the net, but you're right, a couple of gets right inside the baseline, kept that thing alive.
Yeah, really scrambling well, but eventually just gets a little bit too off balance. Talia gets that shuttle behind her and makes what I would say is more of a forced error than an unforced.
Still some work to do here for Ng. Down 3.
Oh, great shot.
Had Ng going one way, went back the other, and moves now for a...
Yeah, a little deception here you'll see from Wendy. Sort of body will go a little bit to the right, and then she'll push the shuttle in the other direction.
Gold medal match point here for BC's Wendy Zhang. She says everything's okay. She gave her that point. She looked to her coaches and was like, it's okay.
Yeah, and that's why it's nice to sort of have that little buffer.
Now it'll be Ng serving to stay alive. Match point once again here for Zhang, leading 2017. Gold medal, Wendy Zhang of British Columbia, as she hammers that one out of the reach of Talia Ng, and a nice come-from-behind victory here after dropping the first set for Wendy Zhang.
Yeah, after she sort of settled the nerves in that first set, she really played very well. Nice and aggressive, nice and steady, and well-deserved today.
Really got control of this match in that second set and never relinquished it. This is a look at her gold medal moment as she finds some room inside the sideline and picks up a gold medal. Talia Ng had that first set. What happened to Ng the rest of the way in this one, do you think?
That's a good question. I think it had more to do with Wendy, to be honest.
Yep.
I think she sort of steadied her game, picked up her game, so.
21-14 in the second set for Wendy Zhang, 21-17 in the third set. And after struggling a little bit in the opening set, she really got her game under control. And a big moment for her, getting that gold medal over Talia Ng, who had a few great accomplishments already in her career. But Wendy Zhang, this one might be the biggest for her. It's a gold medal effort at the Canada Games for British Columbia's Wendy Zhang, coming from behind to win the third set.
Coverage of curling on TSN continues Friday with the Tim Hortons Brier live from Brandon, Manitoba, as the country's top men's curling teams battle under one roof in pursuit of the most famous trophy in curling. Coverage starts with a wildcard game at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN 1 and 4. after the tragic passing of his coach, Jannik Lacroix, didn't think that he'd box again. Instead, he decided to use that pain and channel it as motivation, capturing silver at the Red Deer Winter Canada Games. With more on the story, here's Paul Hollingsworth.
16-year-old Jannik Lacroix was born with talent. But it's also his hard work, constant effort, and resilience that helped him reach the Canada Games in Red Deer.
You can't teach heart. You know, we can teach him all the skills, but if you don't have heart, you're not going to go anywhere, right? And he was born with that. Boxing is also Lacroix's safe harbor, an escape from a painful chapter in life that still haunts him.
Yeah, I've had a lot of challenges throughout my road here, but it means a lot to be here.
3 years ago, Lacroix was living in Pontic, Saskatchewan, training under the watchful eye of his coach and mentor, Mike Kusick.
It's pretty much a father and son relationship. He was always there for me right from the start, took care of me.
Then in July of 2016, tragedy struck. Kusick was murdered, and Lacroix, too young to process such a senseless tragedy, was devastated.
It was really tough for me. When I lost him, I didn't know what to do with myself. Basically, I was lost.
Then, like a guardian angel, Carrie Fallman, a friend of Kusick's and a fellow boxing coach, approached Lacroix.
We went to the funeral, and then when we got out, Carrie came out to me, Carrie and his wife Sandy came out to me, and they basically asked me if I wanted to keep my career going as a boxer. They'd be happy to take me in. I knew that Mike would want him to carry on boxing for sure, and I always liked Jannik when I was around him before, so I thought he'd be a good fit in our club too.
It was a natural fit, an instant bond.
Last fight that Jannik had with Mike, Kerry was there in the corner. He was in the corner. So I have a picture of them together in the corner, last fight that he had.
Fast forward 3 years. Lacroix has since moved to Medicine Hat to be close to Coach Fallman. He's 16 years old, attending high school, and living on his own.
I get to do my own things. No one's in my way.
Lacroix says he's grown to accept the loss, and he's used it to help refocus his career.
I told myself when I started fighting again that everything I'd do from then on and for boxing and in my life would be for him, for Mike.
Lacroix won a silver medal at the Canada Games, but he's just getting started. This is a young man with big dreams.
I'm going to keep boxing until I can't, really. I'm going to go for the Olympics, get a medal there, and then turn pro.
In Red Deer, he fought for Alberta and for himself, but the medal he won is dedicated to his old coach.
Before I get in the ring, I kiss my glove, put it up in the air, and that's for Mike.
Boxing can knock a person down, and so can a tragedy. But for Lacroix, this sport and his new coach have helped lift him up and redefine his purpose in life and in the ring.
Well, Wendy Zhang of BC capturing the gold medal in the women's singles. We'll get to the men's singles in just a few moments' time, but with more on badminton at the Canada Games, let's go to Dustin Nielsen and Brian Moody.
As we continue to work our way through our gold medal matches here in Red Deer, we're going to take a look at some of the notable alumni from these events. I know one name, this guy right here. Brian, what about some of the other names that people might be familiar with?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a real stepping stone in the path of a badminton athlete. Big notables here would be Denise Julian, Daryl Young, Mike Barras. The biggest one, obviously, would be Michelle Lee. She's Canada's highest-ranked player in the world right now. Currently, I believe she's around number 13 in the world. And yeah, for sure, it's just a great experience for our athletes to get a chance to compete at a multi-games event.
A lot of those athletes there had medals. A few more here will get their hands on some gold medals as we continue our coverage of badminton at the Canada Games in Red Deer.
Ontario's Antonio Lee getting set to take on Alberta's Kevin Lee in the men's singles. Gold up for grabs. We'll have that next.
Welcome back inside the Gary W. Harris Canada Games Center in Red Deer as we now turn our focus to the men's singles final here for a gold medal at the Canada Games, and it will be Antonio Lee of British Columbia. Victoria is where he is from. He's 22 years old. KC Badminton club as well. Had a second place finish at the Alberta Elite in 2018, a third place finish at the BC Elite in 2018. Definitely the bigger of our two gold medal finalists. There's a look at Kevin Lee, who's 20 years old, out of the Glencoe Club down in Calgary, coached by, man by my side here, Brian Moody. What can you tell me a little bit about Kevin Lee?
Yeah, Kevin's sort of what we would call an all-round player. He's very good in all three events. Usually, as you get a little bit older, the players will specialize, meaning they'll play either singles or play doubles and mix. But Kevin still has yet to sort of choose one of the three and is pretty proficient in all three. Very talented player, very dynamic. It'll just, for Kevin today, it'll be, can he be consistent to sort of hang with Antonio?
Do you know much about Antonio?
A little bit. Antonio has come to train with us a couple times just before events in Calgary, and originally, as you mentioned, from Victoria, trained in Richmond, BC for many years, again at Clear One under Daryl Young, and has recently moved to Ontario to train out of KC Badminton, as you mentioned.
Okay, now, noticeably right away, Antonio Lee is a much bigger guy. Is there much of an advantage to having, a longer reach here?
Yeah, there's advantages and disadvantages. Bigger guy, bigger frame to carry on the court.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll sort of see how that plays out.
Gold medal, men's singles, set to get underway here in Red Deer. We had all Alberta in the mixed doubles a little bit earlier on. It was a gold for Austin Bauer and Kylie O'Donoghue. And then we just had Ontario against British Columbia in the women's single finals. Wendy Zhang getting by Talia Ng to pick up a gold there. We've gone 3 sets in both of our gold medal matches so far. Kevin Lee to serve. We're underway. And Antonio Lee, BC, into the net here early.
Yeah, and because Kevin is, like I said, very proficient in doubles, he'll try to keep this fairly flat. Big difference you'll see here from the women's game is players will serve backhand. They will serve short, not looking to sort of give that attack away.
And why don't we see that in the women's game?
Again, just right now from the women, they don't hit quite as hard.
Okay.
So
and a nice start here for Kevin Lee as he has an early 3-0 advantage.
yeah, and this is what he'll want to sort of happen. Quick points. Nice net play by Kevin, getting onto the shuttle early.
4-0. When you can fall behind 4-0 here for Antonio, I mean, does it rattle you that early, or is it just so early that you're not really too worried about it?
Not too bad yet, but that's a big point for him, though, yeah, for sure.
Big finish for a big point.
You don't want 4 to turn into 8.
Yeah.
And then you have dug yourself a pretty big hole, but.
Nice effort there from a lunging Antonio Lee.
Yeah, nice attack here by Kevin, but really great pickup by Antonio. Just gets his racket on it, but that's what you're trying to do, make your opponent beat you on that next shot. Couple mistakes here by Kevin.
After a 4-0 run here to start things, it's now 4-3. And now it's 4-4. All these points, I believe, coming on serve. Is there an advantage to having service in the men's game as opposed to what we saw earlier in mixed doubles and women's?
Yeah, again, not so much. Again, you're just trying to sort of start the rally sort of fairly neutral.
Oh, nice shot. What a point there from Antonio Lee.
Yeah, again, great get from Antonio. Gets the shuttle down low and then gets right back up. Puts the shuttle away.
That's dropped in there nicely.
Yeah, little net deception from Kevin, and that's what I mean. If Kevin can be steady, he'll be able to compete with Antonio. He's got lots of choices in his bag, and sometimes like that, maybe
a little too much finesse there.
A little bit too much finesse, and that would, if his coach was here, he'd be pretty frustrated with that choice, but yeah, again, sometimes when you have so much skill, you just have so many different options to go to. And right now, unfortunately for Kevin, it's sort of going hit or miss, and he's missed the last few. He needs to settle down a little bit.
It's a 7-1 run here for Antonio Lee of British Columbia after falling behind 4-0 early. Now an 8-1 run. Power finish there from Antonio Lee.
Yeah, it gets Kevin sort of deep. Kevin tries to get out of trouble by going cross, and Antonio makes him pay. I mean, hard to say, it's very early, but the other thing, too, that is probably in the back of Kevin's mind is he has a great shot of winning the doubles, just coming up later. Maybe thinking he doesn't want these rallies to go super long.
Able to get the job done that time to make it 10-6. It's 10 of the last 12 points here to British Columbia's Anthony Lee.
Yeah, so Kevin's strategy coming in here could be try to keep the points short.
Finish things quickly.
Finish things quickly if he can, and like I say, try to save a little bit of energy for his upcoming doubles. Antonio probably knows that as well, though.
That one bounces just out. A couple of points here for Kevin Lee. Nice backhand there from Antonio Lee. And he now leads 11-7. Thoughts on the play of Antonio Lee here in the first stages of the opening set?
Yeah, other than those first few points has sort of really settled down. I would say, again, he's a little bit more of what we would call a rallier. He's fine to sort of how the rallies go long. Doesn't seem too concerned about it. I'm sure Kevin's coaches are telling him, yeah, you got to be willing to rally a little bit here, not going for too much all the time.
That's what you'd be telling him?
Yeah, that's what I'd be telling him, and would be a message he's heard before.
Court to one, 20 seconds. Court to one, 20 seconds.
11-7, Antonio Lee leads. Kevin Lee on the other side, who you're very familiar with. Looking at the sheet here, we have Alberta Provincial Championships, first place finish in 2018, Canadian Junior National Championships, first place finishes in 2016 and 2017. And now he receives a serve here from Antonio Lee and tried to drop that one over top of the net, couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, no, Kevin's had a very strong sort of junior badminton career. Triple crowned in 2014, a few years ago.
And that time he hammers it almost into the body of Antonio Lee.
And again, nice pressure from Kevin, sort of pushing that first one into Antonio's body and then following it up.
Nice touch there from Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin can be very deceptive.
Antonio along there, and a round of applause from Kevin's coaches. Good read.
And again, nice spin there from Kevin at the net. Hard for Antonio to control that.
Tried to go long with it, ended up being too long. That one drops out. And the lead now 3 here for Antonio Lee. Kevin drops that one just over the net. Comes with a little bit of an apology. Down 14-12, new shuttle for Lee. Kevin to serve. Oh, he jumped all over that one, and now what's Antonio asking about there?
So Antonio's asking whether Kevin was over the net or maybe hit the net. So it must strike the shuttle on your side. You can follow through on the other side. We have to strike the shuttle on your side, and the players are not allowed to touch the net. So sometimes it's hard to tell whether it was your racket or was it the shuttle.
Kevin Lee has clawed his way back here and tied this opening set at 14. Now takes a 15-14 lead. Wow, we've saw some momentum swings so far here in this men's gold medal.
Yeah, and Kevin sort of again, he's trying to look for these quick points.
That time, in tight against the net, couldn't get it over. Tied at 15. Nice play at the net. Kevin's attempts falls out. And a lead here for Antonio. That didn't last long. 16-16. First to 21, and if tied at 20, what happens, Brian?
If it's tied at 20, you have to win by 2. And so if it goes sort of point for point all the way to 29, then it's next point wins, Matt.
So first to 30 at that point.
First to 30 is as high as we go, yeah.
Antonio now with an 18-16 lead serving here.
Well, great kick by Kevin.
Wow, that was nice. Looked like Antonio might have had him, but Kevin got it as he was stepping back.
Yeah, Antonio going for the net kill there, but Kevin stayed with it. And that's sort of what makes him so dangerous. Very athletic, really good hands.
Was hoping to tie it there, but could not do it. As Antonio caught him in an awkward spot, makes it 19-17. And Antonio Lee hammers that one directly into the net, making it a 1-point game. What a battle back and forth, but that'll move Antonio Lee into a set point situation.
Yeah, probably our longest rally of the match.
Antonio looking to take the first set of 2018. Diving. Got the first one, could not get to the second from Kevin Lee, who makes it 20-19 with his service coming up. Kevin ties it at 20 once again. As Brian mentioned, win by 2 from this point on. Oh, Kevin let it go and it dropped in.
Yeah, critical time to do that.
Another opportunity here for Antonio Lee to take the set.
And great get cut. Yeah, a couple great gets there by Kevin.
A good read, too, to let that fall out. We'll be tied at 21.
21 all.
Yeah, usually as coaches, we tell the players, if you're not sure, you play it. There, he obviously was feeling pretty confident. Oh.
Okay, what was that?
So Kevin now is sort of trying to disrupt a little bit of Antonio's. Oh, so he just got called on a fault receiver. So Kevin held his serve a little longer and Antonio lost his balance, so he moved before Kevin hit the shuttle, which is a fault.
So Kevin now leads 22-21. Chance here for Kevin Lee to wrap up this first set. Antonio, that's a nice response as he ties it at 22 with a smash.
Yeah, he handled that call pretty well, actually.
Nice touch around the net, but point for Antonio Lee. And he leads 23-22. Another opportunity for Lee here to take this opening set. Tried to throw that serve a little bit deeper, but Kevin got to it.
Yeah, threw in what we would call a flick serve there. Trying to keep Kevin a little, keep him guessing, keep him off the net a bit.
And Antonio responds. Now leading 24-23. As we go back and forth here, if you're just joining us, win by 2 at this point, and a new shuttle call for here by Antonio.
Oh, great get by Antonio.
At the line, a friendly bounce there for Kevin Lee, and it'll drop down and tie this thing up at 24.
Yeah, we've had a few close calls here. That was Kevin sort of going for it at the net and gets the roll. Antonio again questioning whether he hit the net.
And Antonio long there. And this will give Kevin Lee an opportunity with set points.
Yeah, this is where Kevin needs to try to just let the point happen. Don't try to do too much. Don't force it.
And Antonio hopping all over that net to flip it over the head of Kevin. Tied at 25. Nice back and forth, and then it's Kevin Lee with the finish. Setting up yet another set point.
25.
Yeah, that's the style Kevin wants to play. Keep it nice and flat, very fast.
Ooh. At the net, couldn't get it to bounce over this time. We're tied at 26. Deep from Antonio, and Kevin will serve for the set again.
26.
Oh, nice shot from Antonio Lee. He catch Kevin leaning back a little bit there.
Yeah, a little change of pace there from Antonio. Sort of goes up, plays what we would call a reverse smash, nice angle. Kevin was just too deep from that previous shot.
27 apiece. Trying to finesse it, comes up short there, did Kevin. That's a shot where you're trying to end it in that situation, or what?
Yeah, I think so. But again, maybe just a little bit too much finesse on that one.
Set point for Antonio Lee. Nice get there. At the net, he dives, can't do it. We are tied at 28 in a marathon opening set. Now Kevin to serve once again. The highest they will go is 30, and they'll need to get there now. Excellent finish there from Antonio. And now he leads 29-28. Yet another set point here for Lee. And it will go to, I guess, a sudden death point here, tied at 29. This is just the first set. Tied at 29, and it will be Kevin Lee serving. Next point wins it. And Antonio, a drop over the net. Kevin can't believe it. Back and forth affair in a marathon set to open up this gold medal match. Finish with some nice touch from British Columbia's Antonio Lee. Second set on the way.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals, developing and manufacturing chemicals and plastic resins to make everyday life safer, healthier, and easier. By Hotels Red Deer, working as one to create a better destination experience. By IFR Workwear, family is your priority, your workwear is ours. By On the Run, proud sponsor of the Canada Winter Games. On the Run, making the most of every stop. And by Travel Alberta, wander within reach this winter.
Welcome back to Red Deer, everyone. Antonio Lee still trying to catch his breath, I think, after a 30-29 opening set victory. And here's a little bit of his work, Brian.
Yeah, obviously not much between the two players. A little bit different in styles. Like I said, Kevin is trying to keep the rallies fairly flat, keep the rallies short. And Antonio, with a little bit of net deception at the end, was sort of the difference.
How much does a 30-29 opening set change the way the rest of this thing goes? So that's a marathon for these two guys to start.
I would say because the rallies weren't overly long, it's maybe not that big of a deal, but as I mentioned, I think for Kevin, knowing he's got another event coming up, maybe thinking that Antonio might be a little bit fitter than him. I'm sure deep down wishes he'd sort of had that first set in the bag, but we'll see.
Ryan mentioned he will be in the doubles men's final, which will be our final gold medal match of the day. He'll be teaming up with Austin Bauer, who we saw earlier today. And 1-1 here in the early going. I got game right at the net.
Yeah, nice spin there by Antonio. Kevin was trying to kill that, but...
Which part of the game did you enjoy playing the most? Was it up at the net, or more along the back? Or?
I played more doubles and mixed doubles, so I was more of a hitter from the back, so...
3-1 here. Antonio Lee with the early lead. (4-1) as that one falls out.
That's over.
4-2. Lee's able to find a spot for that one inside the line. Couple of quick points here from Kevin.
Yeah, and again, that's what Kevin wants, sort of.
Drop that one over the net. Unable to do so. 5-3 for Antonio Lee. That is out long. Good rally. Couple nice gets from both of those guys.
Yeah, showing you a little bit of everything in that rally.
4, 5.
Antonio Lee, power finish there. Saw a look on Kevin's face. That one's coming in hot. Oh, nice touch from both men.
Yeah, great net exchange there. Not easy to do, to try to play something so precise when someone's standing right there, but they each got away with one, and then Kevin eventually killing that last shot.
Another good rally ends in the net from Kevin.
So you see there, Kevin sort of driving into Antonio. Antonio immediately sort of taking the pace out, not wanting to get into a hard and flat game with Kevin. So that's something either he's doing deliberately or his coaches have been telling him to do. Don't get into sort of a hard, flat pace rally with Kevin.
For anyone watching right now, and I'm going to say myself included, explain the hard, flat match here, like what you're talking about.
Yeah, so basically any sort of shuttle that's being hit from, say, tape level.
Okay.
That's sort of going not. So these are sort of, that would be, you know, higher, slower, clear. But most of the stuff that Kevin is doing, he's pushing the shuttle flat to the back, not wanting to lift the shuttle to Antonio. Antonio is sometimes trying to play the shuttle to the front, which forces Kevin
trying to get it up
to lift. Yeah.
Kevin misses just wide on that one. 10-5 the lead here for Antonio Lee. And Antonio hops all over that one and hammers it home to take an 11-5 lead. A nice start here for the British Columbian, and Kevin Lee will need to find a response as he trails 11-5, facing elimination here in this gold medal match. Welcome back inside the Canada Game Center. A look at 20-year-old Kevin Lee playing out of the Glencoe Club. Your thoughts on him being where he is right now?
Yeah, I think Kevin's had a pretty decent match. I think obviously that first set could have gone either way. But I believe for him to win this match, he's got to sort of, again, sort of stay within himself, not go for too much. But again, I do feel like in the back of the mind, in the back of his mind, he's maybe trying to save a little in the tank for that doubles final.
Men's double final will be our 5th and final gold medal match. This is our 3rd, and Lee, a couple of hammers there, and Kevin able to stop the first one, not the second though, and he falls behind 13-5.
Yeah, and Kevin was sort of stretching out his calves a little bit there on that 11-point break. We'll see if that is something. I know he was also asking his coaches for some water and stuff, so whether he's a little dehydrated at the moment, we'll...
Kevin hops all over that one to make it 6-point set.
Yeah, nice little run here from Kevin.
And that one does drop in, much to the grimace of the face there of Kevin Lee. Antonio retakes a 6-point cushion.
Yeah, Kevin won't like me for saying this, but that's usually when we sort of tell the player, stop hoping. Deep down, you know that's in. You got to grind it out. You got to play that shuttle.
You got to dig it.
Yeah, there you can sort of see he was sort of stretching his calf again, so maybe he is having some physical issues.
Trying to throw some touch on that one, comes up just a little bit short. And the lead once again, 6 here for Antonio Lee, who with a win here will take home gold.
Yeah, and the other thing too, it's not just the fact that he has another final. You know, he's played quarter, semis,
lots
in two events, right? So he's come this way. Does take its toll. So he is lucky that he's, you know, very skilled player in all 3 events. But there is a disadvantage to that as well, and that's why you will see at the higher level the singles players just playing singles, the doubles players just playing doubles, because it is so physical.
What is the next level for kids, you know, 21, 22 years old?
Yeah, I think the you know, the whole idea with Canada Games is this is sort of their first taste at multi-sport games, and for a lot of these guys, the next step will be, you know, Olympic Games. So there's definitely a few Canadian athletes that aren't here right now because they're a bit older, that are sort of well situated to make the next games.
Yep.
But for sure, I think you'll see some of the names we see today sort of maybe 8 years down the road sort of thing.
New shuttle here for Kevin Lee, who's trying to claw his way back into this thing. He's now made it 4 points. Down 16-12. Kevin Lee out of Calgary. Now it's 3 points. Oh, he's not going away.
No, and I'm sure Antonio's coaches will be telling him, like, try to stretch out these rallies. No fast, cheap points.
Catching Kevin on his backhand there. And that one will come up short.
Yeah, and that to me there is a sort of a sign of maybe just being a little bit tired, not quite getting to the shuttle like he'd like to.
Late in the rally there too. Not messing around that time. (18-14) here for Antonio Lee. If you missed their opening set, went the distance, 30-29, and Antonio came out on top. Good job by Kevin on the first get. That time couldn't return it over the net. And 2 points away now is Antonio Lee. Antonio, no problems there. And now he'll be serving for a gold medal. Match point for Antonio Lee. And it is out. Correction on the call from the umpire, and a gold medal for British Columbia's Antonio Lee after a very hard-fought opening set, 30-29. Picks up a second set victory here, 21-14, to be crowned the gold medalist at the Canada Games men's singles in badminton. Your thoughts on his victory, Brian?
Yeah, I think he'll be pleased. I know, you know, he's taking his badminton very seriously. He's training pretty much full time from what I understand. So I think he'll be very pleased with that. And I would think that Antonio will be a player we'd look for in the men's singles down the road.
Antonio Lee, your gold medalist. On the other side, your thoughts on one of your pupils, Kevin Lee, here, and him getting a bronze medal in men's singles, or a silver medal, rather.
Yeah, I think that's a great accomplishment for Kevin. I think, you know, when he has time to look back on it, he'll be proud of his accomplishment. I think maybe not his best today, but I think, like I said, I think that has more to do with all the competition that was going on during the week.
It's not the end. That we'll see if Kevin Lee, he'll be back for a chance at another gold medal. Men's singles gold to Antonio Lee of British Columbia.
Electrifying highlights, shocking finishes. Get your brackets ready because March Madness returns to TSN Thursday, March 21st. First round action gets underway at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific across the TSN network. Well, we hope that you enjoyed that men's final. We got Team BC taking on Team Quebec in the women's doubles. And for Team BC, one half of that duo, Wendy Zhang, just coming off of a gold medal finish in the women's single. To get us all set up for today's action, let's head back to Dustin Nielsen and Brian Moody.
Once again, welcome back inside the Canada Games Center. Beautiful facility here as we work our way through all of our gold medal matches. We are moving on here to the women's doubles, which will put Quebec up against British Columbia. And a look here at Quebec. That is where we will start. Alison Rouen, 20 years old, out of Montreal. And on the other side, joining her on this doubles squad, 22-year-old Camille LeBlanc. Camille played earlier today in a bronze medal singles match and came up short. So her second crack at a medal here today. And they'll be going up against British Columbia. And British Columbia will have 16-year-old Wendy Zhang, who we saw earlier, teamed up with 21-year-old Kylie Chen. Wendy Zhang, who we already saw a little bit earlier. Another crack for her to get out here. A little bit of a breather, not a lot though. And she's with Kylie Chen, who's out of Vancouver, British Columbia, with the Ace Badminton Center. She's the 21-year-old. You were telling me a little bit earlier, you don't see a lot of 21-year-olds teamed up with 16-year-olds, do you?
Well, usually the pairs will come up through the juniors, so typically they're a U16 will play together, then as they graduate to U18. So with Wendy and Kylie never really been sort of in the same age group. I don't think they would have had too much experience playing together.
Wendy was crowned the gold medalist in the women's singles a little bit earlier on, trying to make it double gold here with a gold in the doubles. And a nice drop shot there from LeBlanc. And it's 1-1 early.
Yeah, and talking to their coaches prior to the match, seems like that's sort of where they win most of their points, is with Alison from the back.
LeBlanc doing all the work there for Quebec, but comes up a little bit long. Double hit there from British Columbia. And Quebec will now take a 3-2 lead. Zhang able to drop that one in to tie it at 3.
Nice shot there from Kylie. I know she said she was in the Canada Games 4 years ago and was left off the podium, and I feel like that's a real driving force for her this year.
Makes the play there again. And BC now 2-point cushion. Nice read there as that one just drops out. Zhang to serve here for British Columbia. Hammered into the net by Chang. And then again, a little bit of momentum for Quebec.
Yeah, you can see their coach Toby Ing from the back there, just telling them to settle down.
Ruan hammers that one, but it's under the net. Couple of good efforts there from our singles gold medalist. Quebec is able to get the point.
Yeah, and again, Allison there from the back, big hit,
On
following it up.
number 2, men's doubles, bronze medal match.
Oh, nice shot there from Wendy Zhang.
Yeah, nice little head fake there from Wendy.
Yanzi Chen, Desmond Wong, Alberta. Umpire Eric DeRoche. Service judge Mike Walker.
Sur le terrain numéro 2.
And from the back, Kylie Chang makes no mistake.
Yeah, big hit from Kylie down the middle. That's usually a strategy in doubles. Sort of sometimes you go down the middle of the court, try to cause a little bit of confusion.
Catch him off guard. BC now extending their lead to 4. And now 5 as British Columbia with a nice start here. It's gold medalist Wendy Zhang in the singles trying to do the same in doubles as well, and they're off to an 11-6 lead. Welcome back, everyone. Dustin Nielsen and Brian Moody with you. We are in our 4th of 5 gold medal matches and set 1 here between BC and Quebec and women's doubles, and it is a early lead for British Columbia. Point there for Quebec, though. LeBlanc to serve for Quebec. And that one is out off the racket of Kylie Chen. Excellent rally there. Comes up short as Chang tried a backhand to drop it over the net. Couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I'm sure the Quebec girls coach, Alex Tremblay, was telling them, you know, the longer the rallies go, the better for us. Try to keep this away from being, you know, too quick points, that sort of stuff.
Nice reach from Long there. Cute little drop shot there from LeBlanc. Trying to reach for it was Chang, but couldn't get there.
Oh, it's a great shot from Camille.
Good pushback here from Quebec. Tying this thing at 11. And Ruan hammers that one right into Chang. Ruan into the net. We're tied at 12. Good job getting there with the backhand, but set it up easy. Finish there for LeBlanc.
Yeah, nice read there. Recognized that when he was in trouble, went straight to the net.
Chang hopping all over that one. Juicy setup for her.
Quick serve there from Wendy. Tried to catch Allison off guard, and it worked.
Finding some open space there was Kylie, and 2-point lead for British Columbia. Chang putting that one into the net. Making it a 1-point set here in the opener. Ruan lets that one fall out. Ties it at 15.
2019 Canada Winter Games Camp is available for sale at our Games Gear stores and games venues across the
Nice serve there.
Yeah, another quick serve there from the BC team. Again, I would think the coach is going to say, hey, you got to make sure you're ready to receive.
Block.
Nice jump smash there from Camille.
17-16, BC leading.
There you see Camille following up and then a little 2-foot takeoff.
How much more power do you generate with the jump?
Yeah, part of it is trying to just get up there
Change
so
the
you
angle?
hit more angle to the shuttle, yeah. Another little drive serve there by Wendy.
Ruan not messing around there. Teed up nicely for her, and she took advantage of it.
Yeah, both teams definitely taking advantage of anything that's sort of played loosely at the net.
Tight opening set here. 18-17 British Columbia. 19-17 British Columbia.
Yeah, nice play there by Kylie to sort of reach up and intercept that shuttle. Again, not hitting it hard, just sort of getting it back on the other side quickly.
Kylie Chen to serve here for BC. Camille hopped all over that serve.
18-19.
A little too long there from LeBlanc, and British Columbia will have an opportunity here to serve for the set. And that one ripped right through both Quebec teammates. And British Columbia takes the opening set 21-18 as Kylie Chen and Wendy Zhang pick up a 21-18 victory in the opening set. A look at the Team BC, victorious in the opening set, picking up a 21-18 victory, and here's some of their work.
Yeah, again, the BC team nice and aggressive, sort of catching the players off guard a little bit there. As I mentioned, sort of catching the players, going down the middle, always a good strategy, and that's how they won that final point.
Do you have a discussion as teammates on who takes the middle one before, or is it kind of just, if it's close to you, take it? Or is there like a plan of attack?
Yeah, there's generally a little bit of a plan. It's usually the player who's sort of, ironically, what we would say cross-court from the shuttle. So you're able to sort of, because you're further away, you're able to stand up a little bit closer in the court. You sort of in charge of the middle, but it's not like tennis where maybe the forehand person would take it. But for sure, they got caught a couple times, so they need to sort of sort that out. And I would think that that was something that their coach addressed.
Justin Nielsen and Brian Moody with you here, and British Columbia, if they can win his second set here, will take home the gold medal off to a decent start, 2-0, the early lead. Nice work there from Camille LeBlanc of Quebec. And Allison Ruan to serve. Ruan was just hammering away from the back there.
Nice angle there from Allison. And again, from my understanding, that's sort of you generally try to have a stronger, what we would call formation, one, and maybe one hitter from the back. And from what I understand, that's where they're at their strongest, try to get Camille to the front.
Ron drops that one just outside the line, or even at 3. Ron got turned around there, and British Columbia is able to take advantage.
Yeah, I would say BC has done a better job of sort of mixing up their serves like that. Some short serves, changing the pace of when you...
The quick serve.
The quick serve, yeah. And little things like that. Every time you can win an easy point like that, it just makes life easier.
Chang with some power there that Camille LeBlanc is not able to handle. Just looking across the way here, we've got the men's double bronze medal happening right there. And right now, Quebec leading Alberta over there, 15-10, court 2. We're on the main court, the middle court here, Canada Games Center. BC leading 5-4 in the second set. Now 6-4.
Yeah, that would definitely be a strategy for BC. Once Allison is at the back, try to move her along the back baseline. Don't let her sort of sit under anything. With a quick serve.
Nice job on that one from LeBlanc to return it.
Well, and that's what they need to do. They need to sort of show that they're looking for that and
be ready for it. Wendy Zhang needs a hand up. Got the point out of it though and leads 7-4. Nice read there by LeBlanc. We'll get the point for Quebec. 7-5 the trail.
yeah, Wendy going for a little bit too much there.
Saw she kind of turned around, wanted to do a quick reset to herself.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you know what your coach is about to say.
Cheng once again splits the 2 Quebec team members. Camille waited on that one, let it drop in, and now wants a new shuttle. Trailing here 8-7, Camille LeBlanc. Some directions from the coach. LeBlanc hammering away from the back, and finally, I think on the 3rd time, it's too much to handle for British Columbia, and all of a sudden we're tied at 8.
Yeah, nice attack there from Camille from the back, really elevating to the shuttle.
Dang to receive here for BC. Into the net, and Quebec now takes a 9-8 lead. And Zhang couldn't get it over.
Yeah, a little lapse in focus there, I think, by the BC girls.
That one was way up there, and Rouen able to take advantage of it, and now a 2-point cushion for Quebec. Excellent rally, finally finished off there by Kylie Chen.
Yeah, nice play by Kylie there, going one sort of down the line onto Allison's forehand and then coming across her body onto her backhand, sort of catching her.
Wendy Zhang to serve for BC. And they'll tie it at 10. Ruan, too much to handle there for Wendy Zhang, and it's a tight affair in our second set as Quebec currently holds an 11-10 edge, needing a win here to stay alive in the battle for gold. Welcome back to the Canada Games Center, everyone. Dustin Nielsen, Brian Moody with you, and Quebec with their backs against the wall here, pretty good in this second set so far.
Yeah, I know they've responded really well. Again, nothing crazy, just steadying up a little bit. Definitely moving the shuttle around in defense. A little unforced error there.
Allison Ruan a little deep on that one. First set was a close one. Alberta pulled away, or British Columbia rather pulled away right at the end for a 21-18 victory in the opening set. Right now we're deadlocked at 11. And that serve drops in there. Ruan left it. And the point for Kylie Chen. That time Ruan left it and it worked out in her favor.
Yeah, and sometimes that's hard to do after you've just lost the previous point. Oh, it's a great shot by Camille.
Jumped up and then dropped it in there.
Yeah, a little bit of deception.
Gives Quebec a 1-point advantage.
Yeah, and that's what Quebec will need to do is sort of, again, make sure they're sort of changing the pace. I don't feel like they want to get into a real driving style with BC. Yeah, and again here we'll see Camille go up. Looks like she's going to play hard and then sort of plays it in front of that service line.
Blanc serving here, Quebec with a 14-12 lead. Now 15-12. 16-12, Quebec on a run right now.
And again, little things like that, just mixing up your serve, not always serving to the same spot. Sometimes to the tee short, sometimes long. Just trying to keep your opponents off balance.
What an effort on the back line here by Wendy Zhang, and eventually it pays off with a little help.
Yeah, she wasn't apologizing after that one, though. not when you're down.
So that's how it works. Blanc's all over the place here, falling back. She managed to keep it alive. What a rally. Eventually ends a little long there from Kylie Cheng, but Camille LeBlanc was all over the place.
Yeah, nice attack there by the girls. And that's what you're trying to do. Once you sort of get the shuttle up, sort of keep that attack, not give it away. Camille did a nice job in that rally.
The lead is for Quebec. Now it's 5. Zhang puts that one just outside the line. Ruan with quick hands at the net. That one forces British Columbia to play it out. 19-13. Ruan into the net. Maybe giving BC a little bit of life here.
Yeah, I think Camille was surprised there. I think she thought Allison was going to finish that one in the net. She got caught a little bit off guard. Ends up costing them a point.
Camille gets some help at the net. Makes it 20-14, set point here now for Quebec, looking to force a third set here in a gold medal match, women's doubles. Zhang into the nets. Quebec stays alive with a 21-14 victory, avenging a 21-18 loss in the opening set. We will have a third set for a gold medal coming up here on TSN. Smiles on the face of Team Quebec, and why wouldn't they be smiling? 21-14, the victory in the second set. Good job bouncing back here, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. They showed a lot of grit. I think that's sort of the key to their success. They got to make sure they sort of dig every shuttle they can from off the ground. And we see Camille be nice and aggressive. From what I understand, she's a fairly accomplished basketball player as well. I was going through her notes there. Her idol is Allen Iverson, so we know he was pretty scrappy. So
he was a fighter. There's no doubt about that. Third and deciding set here for a gold medal in women's doubles. And a quick start there for Quebec on the serve from 20-year-old Allison Ruan.
Cool.
Ruan again all over the net. She almost shows no emotion, eh?
Yeah, and sometimes that's hard to read. And there's almost a set play. She's just serving and going right to the net, but Wendy hitting a serve receive winner there.
Into the net from Kylie Cheng. 3-1 Quebec. Ooh. Camille LeBlanc wants that one back.
Yeah, those hurt. As I said, it's not an overly aggressive shot, but it's so important, and they do hurt when you miss them.
And LeBlanc, a little redemption there as he plows that right between Team BC.
Yeah, that's okay from Quebec there, even though Allison missed that serve long. Again, it just sort of keeps your opponents on their toes a little bit, not being able to, yeah, just mix it up. Even though you missed that one, it may make it so your opponents aren't putting as much pressure on your short serve down the road. Called wide. BC girls don't seem to agree with the call, but
instead of 4-4, it'll be 5-3 Quebec. And that one out off the racket of Allison Ruan. 1 point set. What a rally, and LeBlanc tried to end it there with some power from the back, but hammered it right into the net.
Yeah, I was just about to say nice patience from Camille on the previous shot after sort of being down. Got a little over anxious there.
Third set in a best of 3, and that one lands in for BC.
Yeah, a little too flat there on that attack from Camille, and BC girls able to turn that around with a quick serve.
7-5 British Columbia. Wendy Zhang looking for 2 gold medals at the age of 16. One of the 2 members here on Team BC won women's singles earlier. Nice shot from LeBlanc.
Just didn't quite go over there for Wendy. Thought about it, but fell back onto her side.
This leaves us tied at 7. Power shot there from the 16-year-old. Too much to handle for Camille LeBlanc. Ruan just misses. BC leads 9-7. Ruan deep on this one. And all of a sudden, BC with a 3-point lead. Eventually, they had so many looks at that one, didn't they, Brian?
Yeah, again, nice elevation there from Camille.
LeBlanc to serve, down by 2. And that one knocked in by Wendy Zhang, and it is British Columbia with an 11-8 lead in the winner-take-all 3rd set here in doubles final. Welcome back. 3rd and final set here. And British Columbia with an 11-8 lead on Quebec. And Quebec had a nice start here to this 3rd set, but BC's kind of got it going here, haven't they, Brian?
Yeah, they excuse me, yeah, they do. But again, in rally point, momentum turns around quickly. So important, though, for Allison and Camille to come out of the break strong.
And a couple of quick points here for Quebec. Right back in it, down by 1. That one just out. Kylie Cheng to serve for British Columbia. Couple of quick hits there from Wendy Zhang, but the second one into the net.
Yeah, again, we could see Wendy sort of, to her partner and coaches, just almost reminding herself to sort of settle down a little bit.
That one a little too hot to handle from Zhang to LeBlanc, and it'll flutter out of bounds.
Yeah, well placed. Cut off by Wendy there.
Nice shots from Wendy Zhang, who did that one all herself. Quick response there from Quebec.
Yeah, nice little clip smash from Allison. She was ready for that one.
Zhang went for it, wasn't going to get there, but it ends up falling just outside the line.
Yeah, we've seen a few unforced errors by the Quebec team.
Cheng to serve here, up by 3. Now just 2. Rouen can do some damage and she connects.
Yeah, again, just not what we would call sort of like a clip smash, not a full swing. But gets it back to where it came from in a hurry. Oh. Again, a shuttle that thought about it, but didn't quite go over.
Makes it a 1-point final set here. Rouen drops it in after Zhang had got to the attempt from LeBlanc.
And again, just nice, really great placement here from Allison. Not going full power, nice cut smash down the line.
Zhang taking a seat there to come out and sweep it up. Look like she was maybe getting a little breather after playing earlier today. Now being out here again in the 3rd set of a gold medal match. New shuttle for LeBlanc, tied at 15. Race to 21 for gold in the women's double. Chang hops all over that serve and finds the far corner of the court. And now Quebec deep. And a 2-point cushion for British Columbia. Zhang Long gets a word of encouragement from her 21-year-old teammate. LeBlanc good on the back there. Ties this thing at 17. It's coming down to the wire, Brian.
Yeah, I was going to say Quebec sort of showing they're not done yet.
Rouen on that serve. Chen to the nets. Couldn't get it over. And Quebec, for the first time in a little while here, has now stormed back to take an 18-17 lead.
And again, this will come down to sort of who serves and receives better.
Nice play there from Kylie. Very quick on that return, eh?
Yeah, and again, she's coming in quick, but not necessarily playing hard, just being aggressive with her movement.
Tied at 18. Rouen, an awkward angle on her body there. Couldn't keep that one in play.
Yeah, just out of her reach.
Cheng to serve again here for British Columbia. Into the nets, tied at 19. Third set of the gold medal match. No room for error here. Cheng deep. And Quebec now takes the 2019 lead.
Yeah, well left there by Camille. Grill hit over her right shoulder. That's hard one to not take.
Our first gold medal match point. Camille LeBlanc to serve for Quebec. And a quick return there from Wendy Zhang, and we're tied at 20.
Yeah, that lead didn't last long.
Win by 2 now for a gold. LeBlanc was hammering away, but Zhang dropped one in over the net. And BC will serve for a gold. That was a fun rally.
That was a great rally. Yeah, nice change of pace there by Wendy from the back. Reverse slice from her deep forehand corner.
Wendy Zhang will serve here, looking for her second gold medal of the day. Zhang drops it in, and double gold for the 16-year-old from British Columbia. What a finish.
Yeah, great play there from Wendy. Really tough mentally.
Another look at the winning point from Wendy Zhang.
Again, she's serving and just looking to put pressure on the net. Sort of finds that soft spot.
They had LeBlanc at the back, which means they had Ruan up at the net, and Wendy Zhang was able to take advantage of it. 16-year-old Wendy Zhang has come here from British Columbia and will be leaving with 2 gold medals today. What does that mean for the sport of women's badminton?
Yeah, no, I'd say definitely future is bright in women's badminton. Like I said, we've got lots of really strong young girls playing. And same as I said with the men, I suspect we'll see one of these girls in future Olympic Games down the road.
Maybe it will be 16-year-old Wendy Zhang, who picked up gold in the women's singles earlier with a win over Ng out of Ontario, and now teams up here with Kylie Chang as British Columbia is able to win a 3rd set, needing a little bit extra time to get it done, but they knock off Quebec, and it is gold for British Columbia in the women's doubles in Red Deer.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals. Everyone agrees plastics do not agree with our oceans, rivers, or anywhere in the environment. Please be responsible while enjoying the games. By Finning Canada, proud partner of the Canada Winter Games and our athletes. By Driving Force, vehicle rentals, sales, and leasing, proud to be the fleet provider for Canada's Winter Games. By ATCO, proud sponsor and official energy provider of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. And by the Government of Canada, proud supporter of the 2019 Canada Winter Games.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that women's doubles final in badminton. A quick turnaround also for one Austin Bauer. He did win gold for Team Alberta in the mixed doubles. Back again in action when he joins Kevin Lee for the men's doubles. And we'll have that next as Team Alberta taking on Team Ontario. Let's head back down to the Canada Games Centre where we find Dustin Nielsen and Brian Moody.
Welcome back to Red Deer, everyone. Canada Games Centre as we are set for our 5th and final gold medal match here today. Dustin Nielsen, Brian Moody with you. And it will be Alberta versus Ontario here in the men's double gold. A look at Kevin Lee, who played earlier, ended up bringing home a silver in the singles. Got a little bit juice left here, you think, Brian?
Yeah, I think so. I think this will be sort of the one he thinks he had his best chance in. So I suspect he'll lay it all on the line here.
And a look at Austin Bauer, who won a gold medal earlier today in mixed doubles as well. That was our first match of the day. On the other side, our first look today at Stanley Fang, a 17-year-old of the Lee's Badminton Training Center in Richmond Hill, Ontario. And he will be teamed up with Jonathan Lai, a 21-year-old out of Toronto. Do you know much about this Ontario group that we're going to see?
A little bit. I know Jonathan has actually played with Kevin before.
Okay.
So I have coached the two boys together. Yeah, again, I think we'll see a really explosive match here. All 4 players very skilled, and we'll see, I'm hoping for a very high-paced match.
Any sort of, and we've talked about this a couple of times, but one team has 2 guys who've already played today. The other 2 guys haven't played here in front of us today yet.
Yeah, I think that could go either way. Sometimes it's nice to have a match under your belt.
Rhythm, yeah.
You're in the rhythm of the hall, that sort of stuff. You know sort of how The court is playing. So as long as you've got enough in the tank, I would think that would be a little bit of an advantage actually for Austin and Kevin.
When you look at the singles compared to doubles, and we saw Kevin earlier in singles with the two guys on the floor, how much less work is there in doubles? Unless I'm wrong, is there more work in doubles?
It's a little bit different work usually.
Okay, different work?
Yeah, different work, a little bit more explosive. Again, you're not maybe covering as much court, but you're jumping more. You're exerting maybe a little bit more energy. But sometimes when you've got somebody else on the court with you, you're sort of willing to battle a little bit.
Men's doubles, gold medal on the line here. Ontario going up against Alberta. Alberta leading in the bronze medal match as well right now, 17-14 against Quebec on court 2 right next to us.
Alberta. Kevin Lee to serve, Stanley Fang. Level, play.
Kevin Lee to serve to start here for gold. And that one a little bit long, bounces out, and Ontario on the board. Out at the other end, Title 1 first serve here, second match of the day for Austin Bauer. And that one drops out as well. A couple of quick points here both ways.
Yeah, sometimes you're just sort of getting used to the speed of the shuttle. It's not a comforting feeling when your first lift is out the back, but
Kevin Lee smashes that one from the back, and all of a sudden Alberta leads 3-1. Lee into the net though, and Ontario pulls back within 1. Stanley Fang to serve. That one long. He's the youngest of our 4 competitors here in the men's double gold final. Lee into the net. It's got to be tough when you sit there and watch your teammate in the back kind of him, and then all of a sudden it comes to you.
Yeah, we definitely try to teach the players to sort of stay engaged even though you're not maybe the one hitting the shuttle.
Excellent job defensively there by Austin Bauer, who looked like he was kind of just hanging on under assault there.
Yeah, Austin does a nice job of sort of moving the shuttle around. Definitely not wanting to put it back into the same spot there.
Fang to serve here for Ontario, and that one right into the net.
6-4.
Yeah, and that might be something that the Alberta team might look to do, is try to put some pressure on the younger player, see if he's sort of up to the moment. So they go after him there.
7-4.
Again, lefty-righty pair for the Ontario team, which can be an advantage, but can also be a disadvantage if you're not used to playing with each other.
Okay, it can be an advantage how? Like if you, let's say they are used to playing with each other.
You sort of have some set plays where I'll sort of hit the shuttle cross court, hoping that it comes out into my partner's forehand.
Oh, on the return?
So, yeah, and sometimes as a team, you sometimes get a little bit confused as to where the other pair's forehand is if there's a lefty-righty.
Man, it amazes me that you can think about that stuff when the game's moving so quickly. 9-5 Alberta with the lead. Austin Bauer out of Calgary serving here. (10-5) now for Alberta.
10-5.
Excellent start here for the host province. Had to have a quick little reset there for Kevin Lee, who's smiling a little bit. Fang was able to put it home on the second crack.
Yeah, Kevin knows he tried to get a little too cute with that. It was probably best to just put that up into the rafters.
Bauer tried to hammer that one down, just missed. Kevin gets a little bit of a bounce, and that'll bring us to our first set break. 11-7, Alberta leads. What do you think about the start here for Alberta with a couple of guys that you're very familiar with coaching them?
Yeah, I think Kevin and Austin playing fairly steady. I think this is, obviously nice to have a little bit of a lead going into the break. I think that'll let, sort of Kevin relax. Like we saw, he already has one match under his belt, but sometimes, the nerves are still there. From the other side, I know that Stanley's coach is Jennifer, who's speaking to them now. So that's his own coach, so that's a bit of an advantage for him. And you had really high praise for her, saying she was a big reason where he's gotten to where he is today.
At the age of just 17, out of Ontario, had gold at the Yonex 2018 Junior U23 National Championships. That was in doubles. And had a gold at the 2018 Junior Badminton team event. Oh, what a start after the break.
Yeah,
very quick rally.
There, yeah.
12.
Yeah, and Kevin and Austin, even though they haven't played a ton together, they would be a good pair as well. Is that Kevin is very flashy, likes to play fast. Austin does sort of move the shuttle around, likes to sort of, what I would say, change the pace.
Yeah, more of like a strategic player?
Yeah, a little bit. So I think that could be a good complementary partner for Kevin.
Nice bounce there for Alberta. So how often would they play together in doubles? Like just at this event, or?
I mean, because they're training at the same club, they do play together a fair bit. But as far as tournament-wise, they're not set partners. They each have another set partner who aren't here today.
It's working well so far as they open up a 15-8 lead here in the opening set of our men's double gold medals. Now 16-8. We have seen a couple of times in these gold medal matches today that the momentum can turn pretty quick, though.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Fang was able to keep that one in. And now he'll serve for Ontario. Into the net from the 17-year-old.
17-9.
Nice shot there from Bauer.
Yeah, there's an example of Austin sort of just not hitting the shuttle hard, but getting on it early, getting it good angle down. And sometimes those are more effective than if he chose to hit that hard.
Talked about it off the beginning of the broadcast today. A lot of Albertans in the finals today that we've watched here. You were telling us earlier that Ontario, does very well in the sport as well. Would you say Alberta and Ontario, as we watch them battle here for men's double gold, are the top two provinces in badminton right now, or?
Yeah, I would throw BC into the mix there.
BC in the mix as well.
20, game point.
I would say usually if you want to call the four big provinces are typically BC, Alberta, Quebec, and Ontario.
Number of competitors from all four of those provinces here today, as Alberta needs 1 point to take this opening set somewhat convincingly. And that will be the opening game, 21-10. Alberta with an excellent start. You couldn't ask for much better, could you, Brian?
You couldn't ask for much better, but sometimes that can work against you, right? Things are going so well, you haven't really been tested.
Alberta 21-10 in the opening set, in control here in the gold medal final. Alberta will open with the serve here in the second set. Austin Bauer earlier on today, a gold medal in mixed doubles. And Kevin Lee earlier on today, a silver in men's singles. Looking for more here. And a quick start for Kevin Lee.
Yeah, again, great shot from Austin, great serve from Kevin, great placement by Austin.
I was going to say his placement's been sensational, even in the earlier mixed doubles we saw. Kevin got a piece of it. And then Austin finished it. That'll be a point for Ontario. And they'll grab a new shuttle here, trailing 2-1. Austin Bauer just hopping all over that thing.
3-1.
Yeah, again, Austin sort of putting pressure on without hitting hard.
And now Kevin Lee using a little bit of power. That was too much to handle for Stanley Fang. And Alberta off to a great start here as well, leading 4-1.
Yeah, they're rolling right now.
5-1.
And sometimes that's what it feels like when you're on the other side of this. It feels like, you know, it's an avalanche coming down on you, and you just can't seem to get things going.
Back and forth, and Kevin Lee ends up getting the job done as Lee and Fang exchanged a number of shots there. 6-1 Alberta leads. That one caught Bauer in an interesting spot.
Yeah,
Bauer's
again,
just
nice
eating this serve alive here.
Yeah, he's played well today.
Did you change it up when you're serving to him? You gotta try to drive him a little bit deeper, or what do you do?
Yeah, you definitely got to try to move it around. Sometimes it's just a matter of changing your cadence, meaning sort of holding your serve a bit. If you feel like a guy is sort of timing his movement on you.
Good reach there. And finally, Fang is able to stop the bleeding here a little bit. 8-3 Ontario trails. Once again, Bauer jumps all over it. He's kind of having his way with Ontario right now. Little roll over the net there from Jonathan Lai. And once again, the power from Bauer, too much there for Fang to handle, and Alberta takes command 10-4. Too much that time from Bauer. And Bauer finishes that one off. And it is Alberta in complete control here against Ontario. They lead 11-5, looking for a gold medal. Welcome back, and a much-deserved drink there for Austin Bauer, who's been sensational here in the men's double final, and his teammate Kevin Lee has been very good as well.
Yeah, both players playing well. They're really complementing each other nicely. Like I say, Kevin's got excellent hands and really pushing the pace, and Austin sort of can change that pace up when necessary. They're definitely rolling, but we'll see if Ontario can stop the bleeding a bit.
Back underway, first point there after the break to Ontario. And here a little cheer there from Lee. He does not want to finish with 2 silvers today, does he, Brian?
No, like I said, I'm sure it'll make the pain of the first match dissipate if he's able to win this one. And he's playing well, so that's great for him.
13-5, almost looks like he has more jump here than he did in the men's singles earlier. Excellent work from both Bauer and Lee. All areas of the court covered. They now lead 14-5.
And that would be sort of a typical men's doubles rally where the front court player sort of finishing off what the back court player has set up for them. Nice hit from Jonathan there.
So the back court player keeps it alive, keeps it alive, keeps it alive, and then
yeah, it's so hard to win points from the back. It's hard to hit through, so you're sort of trying to hit spots where it enables your partner in the front to sort of finish off the rally.
A little bit of a kill shot from the front. 15-7, the lead for Alberta. Bauer was going to make no mistake there as he smashes that one home.
Yeah, Ontario net rolled the shuttle. He net rolled it back and then finished it off.
That one will drop just outside the line. 21-10, a win in the first set here for Alberta. And they now lead 17-8, making it look almost easy.
Yeah, Austin's really received well in this game.
Nice play there from Lee. And Bauer finds some room just inside the line to hammer it home. It's march towards a gold medal continues here for Alberta. Bauer again splits the two defenders, makes it 19-8.
Yeah, I think the little bit of the inexperience from Stanley here is showing a little bit. Not an easy situation to be in when you're 17 and everybody else on the court is in their 20s.
That one just falls out.
20, match point 9.
Gold medal match point here for Alberta, leading 29. Austin Bauer with the serve, drops it back. Lee. And Bauer finishes it for a convincing gold medal for Alberta, the second of the day for Austin Bauer, and a silver and a gold today for Kevin Lee. And of all the gold medal matches we watched today, this one goes 21-10 in the first set, 21-9 in the second, and a convincing victory for a couple of your students.
Yeah, happy for them. They played well. Would have liked to seen a bit of a more competitive match, but sometimes that's what happens. But yeah, a lot to do with how well the boys played. This is actually a rally that they probably thought they'd won there, but stayed with it. And I think Jonathan actually got called on a net fault there at the end, but well deserved from Austin and Kevin.
Austin Bauer, Kevin Lee for Alberta, gold medalists here to wrap up a day of badminton at the Canada Games Centre in Red Deer. It will be silver medals for 17-year-old Stanley Fang and 21-year-old Jonathan Lai. We talked about Alberta coming in. This was a good day for Alberta here, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'd have to think that the Team Alberta, the coaches are feeling pretty good going into the team event, which I believe starts tomorrow. I think that would be sort of their next objective, was to try to podium for the team event.
Alberta takes home mixed doubles gold and finishes it up with men's doubles gold as well here. So the host putting on quite a show in badminton at the Canada Games in Red Deer.
The Red Deer 2019 Canada Winter Games are presented by Nova Chemicals. Plastic is a valuable resource, not to be discarded. Put it to better use. Kindly recycle while enjoying the games. By MNP, proud supporter of the 2019 Canada Winter Games. By Navigator, when you can't afford to lose. By the City of Red Deer, it's in the spirit of sport. It's here. It's Red Deer. By the Look Company, building sport and event environments that are always engaging. The proud branding partner of the 2019 Canada Games.
Well, the Canada Winter Games rolls on tomorrow with women's hockey quarterfinals action. Coverage starts 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific on TSN 3. Well, Austin Bauer and Kevin Lee picking up another gold for Team Alberta in the men's doubles. We hope you enjoyed that action. Alberta picking up 2 golds and 2 silvers in today's badminton events. We'll check in with you guys tomorrow as the women's quarterfinal actions takes place. Alberta taking on Manitoba. We'll see you then.